Yo! How are we doing, people? I guess there's a couple ways that could be interpreted. I mean, like, how are we? How is our general condition tonight? What is our overall aura, vibe? What is it being called these days? I don't know. How are we doing? With that, I know it's been a second. Thank you all for hanging in there with me as life adjusts, all that good stuff. Doing good, and we have a lot to kind of catch up on. Generally, I do want to give an update though, real quick. Printing has begun on Vagabond. It has started. Where we've got everything's approved. Everything's all good. Everything's all like I got the digital proofs and everything like that. So those are all approved. Printer should be working on that right about now. We still have the big worry of it being shipped to the US and suddenly tariffs hit it. We don't know what's going to happen there. We don't know. We don't know what the rate's going to be, anything like that. We're hoping that the harmonization codes are correct and everything is all like good to go. So if the harmonization codes are correct and everything's all good at the port, we might not be assessed a tariff. We're going to see. I think I'm one of the few people in the TTRPG industry who has something that is coming in real quick. And I'm going to be, I guess, if it hits me, that's going to be kind of a flag for other people to know, like, hey, here's what to expect. I tried to file it under the harmonization codes that so many other people in the industry were telling me to. So we're going to try it out and see what happens. Also, I had a weird idea for a stream. Someone was telling me that, like, you could build a fuzz pedal out of, like, a power strip. So I thought it would be really funny to start just taking apart a bunch of random electronics I have around the house and seeing if we can't, like, actually make it into something else. So I've got a PlayStation 4 controller here that I was like, I don't know what's inside of it. It could be nothing. It could be a bust. We just open it up and there's, like, nothing worth grabbing. But I was like, could we turn it into an effects pedal? I think that'd be kind of fucking funny. So, I got ideas like that kind of springing up. But tonight, I want to give the people who did submit a second to kind of like get alerted about the stream and everything. So we're not going to get right into the consult streams. Instead, I hear there is a, oh my god, and then, is it Cowmello? Cowmello got it. We are going to look at the Unearthed Arcana. First look. There we go. Updates. Sweet. Oh, is it a Psion? Oh, shit. I put Mystic. There we go. I've got opinions. I've built 2 different Mystic classes in the past. I built one for Vagabond. I built one for 5e. Looks like Watsy asked for a console to their Unearthed Arcana. We're going to take a look. Psion 2025. I have not seen this yet. I am still a little bit fresh on the 2024 rework and everything. I did go through the entire book. I have done a read, but as many of you know, and then it never fails that someone in the comments doesn't know, I read hundreds and hundreds of pages of TTRPG material. It's like part of my day job. So I might not remember all the rules one for one. I'm kind of just looking at this from like a designer's perspective to see like if I think that they've really kind of achieved what they were going for here. Yeah, Jeremy Crawford just left and they launched a new class. Well, we're going to see. A part of me thinks that some of this is going to be some of the Mike Merle's design, but I don't know. We'll see. It looked interesting, but very complicated.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, what up, Ked?
What up? I just fell in here.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No.
I mean, where was the hole you fell into to wind up here?
That will get you banned. I can't talk anymore.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, so I haven't looked at this yet. Have you, Ked?
I don't know what we're doing. So.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Well, they dropped Unearthed Arcana for a Psion class.
Oh, I saw that Ted was doing something for it earlier, and I didn't know anything about it.
Okay. I've heard, or I saw at least there were ramblings online that people are still mad that it's a spellcaster, which, like, I get it. Sure. But, I mean, it's a new class. Wizards of the Coast is working on a new class, so it sounds like they were revising their idea behind, hey, the core game should only have this many classes. I think that was mostly a Jeremy Crawford philosophy. So it doesn't surprise me that Jeremy Crawford leaving results in them getting a new class. So let's take a look.
I gotta remember my sign-in to download it.
I got into it right from Google.
That's what I'm clicking on now.
Let me see
Couldn't
here.
find an account. Oh, I think I used Twitch before.
I think it's this one. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
Wow, that is zoomed in tight.
Toys.
Let me see here. Can I get it to where it's more than just like directly my face?
Yeah, no one wants to see that.
No, they really, really don't.
Well, did you get a haircut?
Nah, it just fell out this way.
Screw you.
Yeah. Yeah, I woke up and my dog was chewing on my fucking head, man. I don't know what happened.
I was about to compliment you, damn it. I was gonna be like, you look pretty. Well,
Shucks. Yeah, it was here, I'll even give them a shout out. It was the Elephant Room here in Tulsa. They do a first haircut is $1, and I was like, oh, okay, sweet, I'll go pop in and see what this is about. They fucking like massaged my scalp, they put my hand in like paraffin wax and like put it in a baggie, and I was like, what the shit? Okay, what? I felt, yeah, it makes your hands like baby's butt smooth, man. It's nice. It feels.
Well, next time I go for an in-depth haircut, I'll make sure to get all the extras.
Yeah, very true, very true. You feel like, oh well, shit. Thank you all. Now, so let's look at this thing. Now, Psion. Okay, Unearthed Arcana series. Yes. Subclasses. The first new class since the Artificer. The Psion weaves magic through the power of their mind. 4 subclasses provide unique identities for a Psion character: a Metamorph, Psi Warrior, or Warper, Psychonetic, and Telepath. They kind of went in hard on psionics for this revision. Like, Soul Knife and Soul Knife Rogue is in the game, right? It's in 2024.
Yeah, there's like a Soul Knife thing. So
and then like Psi Warrior,
Dark Sun coming back, confirmed.
Or honestly, what I think they would probably do over that is it wouldn't surprise me if they just introduced like a new setting that featured psionics more heavily. Yeah, because I think they're just like terrified to handle anything with Dark Sun.
Oh, they're never gonna do Dark Sun. I'm joking on that. There's several settings. Dark Sun and Al Qadim are both settings they're never ever gonna touch again.
Yeah, I think they even said as much. Okay, invite you to try this material out and play. It just seemed like a. Okay, so they're just randomly featuring a quest from the Infinite Staircase. Okay, interesting. Power level, the character options you would hear might be more. Yeah, same old feedback. Yes.
Ooh, wild talents. That's a blast from the past.
Wild talents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
It's a collection of feats that provide characters with a way to tap into their psionic powers. Backgrounds representing their connection with wild talents may be included with these feats in a future book if they become official. But in the meantime, a character who takes a noble or sage background can choose a wild talent feat in place of the background's origin feat, and any character can choose one of these feats when their class normally allows a feat choice. Okay, cool. So, let's see here. Psions. I mean, we know what a Psion is. You're playing Yoda. You're playing Professor X, 11, that kind of a thing. So the primary ability is going to be intelligence, a D6 class. Okay, so we have a backliner already. Good. I'm glad, because it was always weird to me that some of the Scions got like, here's a D8 hit die, and they get medium armor and shields, and I'm like, this is not what I imagine as a psychic. Like, it feels like that wants to be a Jedi immediately out the bat.
Yeah.
Can someone explain why they won't touch Dark Sun? Slavery and a whole bunch of other themes that I don't think Wizards of the Coast is of the... I don't think they're willing to take a risk like that.
It's not only a risk, but you need to plan to handle it carefully. And since Wizards is very much in the throw it at the wall and see what sticks mode these days.
Yeah, it's... I think if it was... If 5e were... Yeah, if 5e were not as successful as it is, and it didn't have a more family-friendly sort of lean, you might say that they'd probably go in and try Dark Sun at some point. I, however, think that Hasbro was trying to keep them with that 12 plus rating as much as they can. And Dark Sun, I think, just features themes that, number one, if the designers are going to say, we don't feel comfortable tackling that, I think that's all they need to say. I mean, like, in the same kind of vein, if someone was like, Taron, we want you to write a TTRPG about the experience of slaves in the 1700s and 1800s, I'd be like, fuck are you talking about? Like, no, I'm not touching that. Like, that's just, it is a bear that should be left sleeping. Don't poke it. That kind of a deal. That's not to say any kind of an erasure thing, anything like that. It's just, I don't think a white dude is really the person that should be writing that stuff. Yeah. Now, that all being said, with Dark Sun, it's just a heavier feature of that theme, and I think it's a bit more grim, not grim dark. I wouldn't call it grim dark. I would just call it like, what, Ken? Like a bit more, edgy, I guess edgy.
It's edgy, and like according to the art and everything they're trying to do with it, it was very much like a darker. They were kind of going for a Conan vibe, actually, originally.
Yeah,
just darker,
kind of pulpy, brutal. I guess you could say that. But like the other thing is, I think Merkborg's kind of eating the territory right now and doing it better. I think Merkborg, if you wanted to play in that kind of a setting, like the Dying Lands, Merkborg is built around that. It's not like problematic. It's just very stereotypically edgy, metal, brutal, edgy bro kind of deal. Well, and with this kind of soft core kind of way that they're going with D&D, I don't think that they're going to want to handle anything quite like that either. I don't think that the designers are really strong in the realm of, let me give you an action scene. You know, like I haven't really felt a whole lot of like action adventure out of D&D in quite some time. I don't know, that could change, but it seems like they're trying to go for more of the, you know, narrative heavy theater kid kind of game. You know, and not dogging on theater kids, it's just narrative heavy. It plays different than an action game. So, all that being said, saving throw proficiencies, intelligence and wisdom. Skill proficiencies, choose 2 from Arcana, Insight, Intimidation, Investigation, Medicine, Perception, and Persuasion. They get simple weapon proficiency, no armor training, spear, 2 daggers, light crossbow, 20. Okay, so that's starting loadout. There we go.
I would like to mention that it's mentioning the complete Psionics handbook as the initial Psion assistant. I'm like, I'm physically holding that in my hand right now. And I hope it's better than this. It was so bad.
Yeah, I guess before we look any further, I'll kind of give my thoughts real quick, and I mean, Ken step in as well. My thing with a Psion has been, it wants to be a spellcaster. Like they really want it to be a spellcaster. Hey, what up, Crow? They really want it to be a spellcaster, but I think narratively people feel it's a bit odd that people don't typically associate psychic power with magic all the time. It feels like magic is kind of its own other realm, and psionics are sort of this like, I am tapping into the power of the universe and my mind And it kind of feels like the two have been distinct. I don't know that I would call something like the Force magic, even though it could like replicate some of the thoughts of magic and whatnot. But I mean, Ked, you've been around in the TTRPG scene way longer than I have. So what are your thoughts there?
I'm always torn on this because I've seen this on both sides on how they've handled it, both in like D&D, Pathfinder, you name it. And on one hand, as a consumer, as a creator, as a player, you want it to feel different. You want it to be its own thing. But also from a game design standpoint, using an existing subsystem rather than constantly putting in new subsystems over and over does help keep the game streamlined. Yeah. So it is a trap if you start putting in new subsystems all the time for each new thing just because you want it to feel flavored differently.
Right. Like, whenever I saw what MCDM was doing with the, what they call it, the talent, that was, I think, going in the extreme direction of more complexity, where they, like, introduced a brand new condition or, like, a tracker bar that you had to, like, use on top of everything else, and it just felt like there was another layer of complexity on top of an already complicated just... I mean, a character sheet in 5e is a lot. It's so far for D&D 2024, I've played 2 different characters. I've made about 3 characters to kind of get a feel for what it's like to make a character in the system. However, I will say the experience of making a 20th level barbarian was significantly easier than making a 13th level druid. I made a 13th level druid for a thing with Dottie over at Mystic Arts, and then a 20th level barbarian for that 100 Acre Wood one-shot thing. And I will say that, like, martials are easier in general to make than spellcasters. That's always kind of been a truism. However, I just keep forgetting the weapon mastery thing. That just constantly slips my mind. I think for crunchier-oriented players, they're going to love it because they're going to feel like, oh yes, this is more bonuses on top of everything else. I'm very smart for making my character this way. Whereas for me, I feel like I see my character sheet and I'm like, I am staring into an abyss right now. And that's why I kind of lean more in towards OSR style stuff. But I mean, I feel like 2025 sort of exacerbated that issue and made a more complicated game. But that's just my taste. Everyone's got their own preferences.
It's hard. It's a hard tightrope to walk, especially for D&D, even more than other systems, because D&D has the history to it that there are different forms of subsystems for martials and magic and everything. And, you know, they did try at one point to streamline everything. That was 4th edition. And everyone was like, this isn't D&D. And then they hated on it. And so it's a really knife edge you've got to kind of balance on versus how much are we going to make this stereotypical D&D where everything does feel different versus how much bullshittery are we going to cram into this before it starts to feel bulky.
Yeah. It didn't encourage enough of a play style unless you had good ones like push or topple. That was the thing, is I think it was topple where like it required a second saving throw on top of the attack already having been made, where I was like, this is feeling like this is getting to be a lot. I mean, it someone explained it to me as like, well, just think of it like a contested check, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, but like it was a contested check before, but it required the entire use of your action, and you didn't get the, you know, and I mean, I guess that's still here, but that's a whole thing. You feel like you should just knock them down. I think if you hit them and there's like a size requirement, you're fine. Like, that's the deal. If it's like they're no more than one size larger than you, and then you could go like pick up a feat that made it to where it could be a size larger than you. I mean, that's what I did with the Vanguard. And I mean, so you could, I feel like I kind of solved the problem, but that's going to also sound like I'm snuffing my own farts. So that's, yeah. But anyways, so let's get into it. We know we can skip this stuff right here. The class features. So they're getting their spell casting. Telekinetic Fling is a new cantrip. So you know 2 right here. Whenever you get a Scion level, you can replace a cantrip. Okay.
I do think this part was a mistake, outright just calling it spell casting.
Yeah.
At least in previous things in Pathfinder, I forget how Pathfinder works right now, but I know in first edition, they didn't necessarily call it spell casting. They were kind of like, they reflavored it. It was the same bloody system. They were just kind of flavored it with different words.
Call it like psionic talent or something like that, you know? Like, I mean, yeah, just a simple little wording change. Preparing spells. The number of spells in your list increases as you gain Psion levels. Whenever your number increases, choose an additional Psion spells. The chosen spell, since you have a level for which you have spell slots. I have another Psion that gives you spells that you always have prepared. You don't count against the number of spells. Yep. So this is all standard. Whenever you gain a Psion level, you can replace one spell on your list with another Psion spell of an eligible level. Can you swap out prepared spells on a rest?
It doesn't look like it. I think it works more like a sorcerer.
Wait, I thought everybody was switching over to rest-based preparation. Is that not the case?
Is it? I'm not as familiar with 2024. I reread through
I don't know.
Super stream and I haven't really played it.
Can somebody in chat tell me real quick? Because if this isn't true, this changes a lot of my thoughts about spellcasters. Are there any classes that can change their prepared spells on a rest? Long rest or short rest? Because if they can't anymore, cleric, it feels like cleric took a hit. Some classes can swap one spell on a long rest. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this is only on a level up, though, that you can change a prepared spell. Wow, that's... Wizards and clerics are the same. Okay.
Of your list, for example, if your list, list of prepared spells. So it is your prepared list that you're swapping out. So they do have a very narrow focused list by the looks of it.
So it's getting rid of the idea of spells known for prepared spells.
Okay, they're saying he's in bards, warlocks, and sorcerers. So it's still very much like sorcerers are in that league. So it's very much like a sorcerer then.
Gotcha. Rangers can switch one on a long rest. Thank Christ they made Ranger a prep caster like that. Yeah, it's been like nearly a year since I read the 2024 core rulebook. That's insane. What is time? Psionic power. What they should have probably named their spellcasting feature, but here we go. Oh wait. Psionic spellcasting. I was wondering about this. When you cast a Psion spell that doesn't require a verbal or material component, even if the spell includes verbal or material in its components entry, except material components that are consumed by the spell. Wait, what? When you cast a Psion spell, is there a typo? Or am I just dumb?
Incomplete. I think that's an incomplete sentence.
When you cast a Psion spell that doesn't require a verbal or material component, even if the spell includes verbal or material in its components entry, except material components that are consumed by the spell or have a cost specified by the spell.
It doesn't.
Wait, it's anywhere. Not. That's not complete, right?
No, there's no resolution to that thought.
Okay. Well, the wording is jank. Okay. So I'm gonna assume that they're probably trying to get Jeremy Crawford a call real quick to get him back on to help out here. But so what I'm gonna assume is this is gonna function the way that a lot of people have wanted psionic spells to work, where you can ignore verbal or. I thought it was supposed to be verbal or
an if in there. I think you put an if in there where it didn't have one.
When you cast
a Psion spell, that spell doesn't require a verbal or material
component. Spell. Oh, okay. When you cast a Psion spell, that spell does. Oh, whoa. Okay, hold up. It might not be a typo. I'm reading the emphasis on that spell wrong. When you cast a Psion spell, that spell doesn't require a verbal or material component, even if the spell includes verbal or material in its components entry, except material components that are consumed by the spell or that have a cost specified in the spell. It wasn't WotC, it was me just being dumb on reading that. So
no, it is very badly worded.
It is.
An editor needs to.
I don't like how it's written for what we just saw right there. But that all being said, it does make sense. I had to go reread through that. So, my bad on that. Okay, so this is kind of what we'd always sort of thought like psionics were, except it's odd to me that somatic was chosen over material. Or, sorry, that material was chosen instead of somatic. I felt like somatic was kind of the thing where it was like, no, I can cast, I can literally just look at you and do it. Like, that felt more psychic to me than, I don't need my spoons anymore, you know? Like, yeah. Psionic power. Oh, okay, generally with the spellcasting, I was expecting this to be here. Glad to see that psionic spellcasting is here. It would make a lot of sense to me that, like, the prepared spells are more so like you have to keep growing and learning and training for new powers. That's a very classic psychic fantasy, is like, Luke had to find Yoda to learn how to lift the fucking ship out of the Dagobah, you know? They wanted it to be counterspellable. Maybe that's like, I mean, you know, we could fish for intent, but I try not to, because it just feels like it doesn't really go anywhere. That is weird. Psychics in pop culture can just kind of do it. Well, it seems like every single time a psychic comes up, though, part of their narrative is always like, number one, when did they snap? Like, when did the psychic suddenly realize they had powers, and then it was like, they're out of control? That's the thing with like Carrie, with Akira. Phoenix in X-Men. Or Jean Grey, however. Like, spoilers for a fucking 40-year-old series. It always feels like that moment of like realizing, oh shit, this person's insanely powerful. That's always like a really classic, like psychic, you know, power fantasy. But the idea of like, okay, that happened, and now we have to like hone that in. Yeah, you like the whole narrative of psychics and control. It's like something I played a psyker in 40K. You want to know? Okay, I'm so glad about this. I'm actually really glad. I'm looking at this, guys. You want to know the best fucking video game you can play if you want to feel like an actual psychic? Hang on, I'm gonna see if I can pull the video up before chat can say it. There's a video game that I promise you makes you feel like an actual fucking like Jedi. It is so goddamn good. Chat, anybody got a guess? Not Psychonauts, not at all. Chat, you're feeling me. I'll give you. Oh, there we go, motherfucker. Here we go. If you haven't played this game, it's dirt cheap. Like dirt cheap on Steam all the time.
This is gonna be weirder than usual.
This game is so fucking good.
Actually, I think I got it for free at one point through something.
Yeah, they sell it for like you might actually make money buying this game. God, it's so fucking good.
Oh yeah. For some reason, it's never talked about enough, despite being, I think, one of like the greatest games ever.
Oh yeah,
like, it's so good.
I think it's because the ending got kind of. I don't want to spoil it. The ending is not the best part of this game. The best part of this game is the fucking game. Okay, I can't. If you guys haven't played it, I don't want to ruin something for you. But there is a moment here. Here's what I'm gonna do. If you haven't played Control, you need to go get it right now. But if you haven't played Control, check out here for about 2 minutes, okay? Because I want to talk about my favorite moment I've ever experienced in a video game, and it was all because of oh my god. Yeah, so Control. This is your last warning. All right. This game has the best just give you all your powers and let you go fuck shit up moment. And it's the ashtray maze. This, oh my god, I lost my shit playing that. Yeah, spoilers are right now, okay? I'm gonna show somebody playing this. This is a perfect marriage of music, gameplay, and just goddamn cinema. This whole, the next 5 minutes, alright? Oh, wait, you gotta get the walk up into it. Oh, this is so good. That soundtrack. And the music reacts to what you do.
Yeah.
The sound design on this is fucking incredible.
Like, yeah, okay, there's a few things to have complaints about, but for the most part, like, aside from a couple little things, it is nearly a perfect game.
Oh, yeah, it is so damn close to perfect. It is a 9.8 or 9.9 for me. So, you'll notice the music changes according to how you progress and what you're doing and what powers you're using. It's fucking crazy. Was it? Yes. Oh. This next room is so cool. Oh.
It was doing Doctor Strange before Doctor Strange.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh man, it's so good. It's you still need to finish it. Crow. This game is. This was, to me, it didn't matter. It didn't matter how kind of meh the ending was. This moment right here was one of my favorite moments in any video game I've ever played. Walking into the ashtray maze and just getting to like fuck shit up like this and feeling the like, oh my god, this shit's insane. Yeah, ashtray maze is just such a fucking sick moment in Control. Again, that's enough to where that moment pushed it up for me from like, this is a solid 8, you know, this is a solid 8, and then suddenly it was like that, and I was like, oh, holy shit. If you're an Alan Wake fan, though, I think that game hits even harder. So, like, Alan Wake...
Yeah, same universe.
Yeah, all that. I guess that's kind of a pseudo-spoiler, but, like, everybody kind of knows that already about the game, so... But yeah, it's dirt cheap. You can finish it in a weekend. It's so fucking good. Please go check out Control, because that game does not get enough praise. Oh, Crow, by the way, we're in the live stream lounge. If you wanted to pop in. But yeah. Rare instance of a good multiverse. Alright, yeah, so spoilers are done. Now, let's get back on this. So yeah, whenever I'm thinking of playing a psychic character, it's fine to think like Carrie or Eleven or, you know, Jean Grey or Professor X and all that stuff. For me, dude, it's got to be Jessie from Control. Like, Jessie is like the best I've ever felt playing a psychic character or watching a psychic character in fucking anything. Hey, there he is. What up, Crow?
I had to be here for this one. I think fans of my channel will know that the Mystic has been a class I've advocated for a very long time. I know it's dog shit. I know it has many, many problems. But I fucking love psychics, bro. Alright? I will defend that to the end. The psychic needs to have its own class. I will accept no further answers.
No, like, and that's, I mean, like, I designed one for Vagabond. Like, I 100% agree. Like, it is a classic trope of fantasy.
Yeah.
I think some people feel it leans a bit too hard in on sci-fi, but I'm like, hey, you
don't care. D&D leans into sci-fi all the time. I fucking fight me on this, you know?
Star Wars is straight up it is a fantasy story. It is a D&D campaign.
100%.
Like
100%.
Yeah.
And if you talk to any of the directors and shit back in those days, they call that shit fantasy, you know?
Yeah.
We started making a difference between sci-fi and fantasy, you know?
Jedis are literally a paladin order. Like,
yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually think psychics do have a place in fantasy. If you're literally playing anything other than Tolkien. Another cool way that you might be able to manifest this for a campaign is like, hey, if you're really into Brandon Sanderson, and like the Cosmere and everything, dude, this is like a way you can kind of manifest the idea of like allomancy, or, I mean, like, there's a lot to it.
Oh, definitely.
So
especially with how those powers are portrayed, right? Is like,
Yeah.
I think someone in the chat mentioned earlier, like it's like there are things you can kind of do at will. There's like changes you can do, like space time kind of things. Like like we were seeing even in Control, where like the environment's like shifting and weird shit like that. Like you're kind of like you're bending the rules of reality instead of doing things like what a caster does, where it's like you're using the rules, you know, and kind of breaking them. Like I don't know, like you're still playing in the confines. You're just kind of like messing with it.
And if anyone's against like Psionicis being in D&D, be like, oh, I don't know if it belongs in D&D. The Psionicis has been part of D&D since 1991.
Oh yeah, it's classic, dude. It's fucking. I remember reading the old what was it? That old supplement that one came out in. It was wild seeing that shit. It's like, yeah, that's been in there for ages, and then they made it like a big deal in like
I'm physically holding the Psionics handbook in my hand right now. Like, it's been around for a long time.
76, man, that's crazy. Well, so wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Were there psychics in Dragonlance? Was that not a thing? I thought that was kind of like.
I don't remember it being too psychic heavy. You saw it a lot in Spelljammer. You saw it a lot in Dark Sun. There's a little bit in Birthright. Like a lot of the settings at least touched upon it. There was a bunch in Forgotten Realms. They were all over the place in Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, I mean, the moment that you introduce Mind Flayers, you have a justification for why Scions are a thing. Yeah. Like,
oh, definitely. And with like Baldur's Gate, like when you get to be able to use the tadpole powers and shit, like the character that I was playing for Baldur's Gate 3 in my playthrough, I had already taken them from a what was the fighter subclass that was like a psychic
psychic warrior.
Yes. I played that in D&D, and then I took that character over and just played them as a battle master when I was playing Baldur's Gate 3. But my headcanon the whole time was like, oh, psychic powers. So then when I actually got psychic powers, I was like, oh, hell yeah, you know?
This plays right into my backstory.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, so real quick though, there was a new cantrip I wanted to take a look at, Telekinetic Fling. Let me see here. So they got Telekinetic Fling. Is there another new one appears in this UA?
There's a couple.
Tasha's Mind Whip.
I got here like 2 minutes ago.
Hey, what up, Jack?
Hello.
Yo.
I don't think you've really been here on stream much. You want to introduce yourself real quick?
Sure. Yeah, I hadn't actually considered. should probably do that. I'm Jack. I write things. I'm writing adventures at the minute. I've worked on 5e a lot, and I'm doing it less now for obvious reasons. I would assume at this point.
Understandable.
Jack is another Dungeon Masters Guild creator. He came in second place in the Dungeon Jam last year. And now he does professional editing and his own writing in the TTRPG industry, and he's been a great dude to bounce ideas off of and everything. So if he's not going to talk himself up, I will. So
glaze him. We're gonna glaze him in the chat. I want chat to glaze the fuck out of Jack right
now. Oh man. All right. So Intellect Fortress, Summon Astral Entity is a new one. I don't think I've heard of that one before.
Yeah.
Okay, I took a look at that one. It's kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't actually read what it did. I took a skim of this with a friend earlier on, and
a lot of these are the classic names for the powers too. Intellect Fortress, Psychic Crush, like that's all like the OG names for like their powers.
The Raltham Psychic Lance, I think it's the same one from Tasha's, if I remember right.
They
just, like updated for the new thing.
They're bringing in a new 9th level spell, Psychic Scream.
This was from a discipline, right?
Anathos.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember this. Okay, hang on. Just the name alone makes me want to like go through it. An action. Okay. Ooh, all right. Warlock, Bard, Sorcerer can get it. You unleash the power of your mind to blast the intellect of up to 10 creatures of your choice that you can see within range. Creatures that have an intelligence score of 2 or lower are unaffected. Each target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, a target takes 14d6 psychic damage and has the stun condition. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage only. If the target is reduced to 0 hit points by this damage, its head explodes, assuming it has one.
Yes,
I love that.
I think it's unchanged. Let me have a look.
I like having another beefy intelligence save spell.
Also,
yeah,
do you notice something on the sun? It doesn't say when it ends. It just lasts until they succeed.
Yeah,
and the end of each of its turns. And it's an intelligence save, like Hed was saying, not a con save.
If I reach like a 19 or a 20 on my int saves, like on my spell saves rather, and you have like a -2 or whatever on your intelligence, bro is just stun locked. Like bro is just a streamer at that point. Like
What if
wait,
feeble mind them? Can that's just not?
Oh shit! It's up to 10 creatures. I didn't even, and it's not guy, and it's not a fucking specific area. It's just if they're in the range, you can. Okay, so it's like an aura basically. Dude, that's kind of fucking sick nasty.
Yeah, Psychic Scream is cool. The only changes they took it away from Wizard, which fuck Wizard, I guess. I don't know, like
Wizard can go.
Fuck Wizard. Yeah, we're fine with that.
Had it too good for too long.
Yeah.
Where's that one? What was it? The telekinetic fling, or
I think it's pretty reserved. I think. Let me actually get this thing open.
There we go.
I'm looking at it on the stream with the delay.
Oh, this is the Yondu thing. You brandish the ammunition used to cast this spell. Yeah, an arrow, bolt, bullet, or needle worth at least 1 copper point. Using psychic energy, make a ranged spell attack against a creature on a hit. It takes 1d10 force damage, and the ammunition is destroyed. Yeah, so you don't have like control over an arrow that you're sending around, but it's enough for a shot. So it's 1d10 force damage. They're giving you an Eldritch Blast, but it's not because you can't separate the bolts. So
no, it's more a firebolt, but it costs you ammo because it just damage bumps rather than getting more bolts. Which honestly, it's a cool balancing thing at low levels at the very least, where that actually kind of matters.
It's a D10 longbow shot, but with limited range.
What would happen if you use like magical bolts or arrows or something with this?
I would just rule it that it's allowed to add to the damage because, like, that's sick.
Yeah, that seems like pretty reasonable. I'm surprised they didn't just add that in.
Especially because the ammunition is destroyed.
Yeah.
But if it's already getting destroyed, like say it's like a giant slayer arrow or something like that, that'd be pretty cool.
Would you guys? Okay, how would you guys rule this? Because a cannonball is ammunition.
It wouldn't be doing. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing extra damage. I would just say like, okay,
they do specify arrow, bolt, bullet, or needle.
Oh, that's true. Fuck. All right.
Oh yeah, worth at least. Yeah. If there was like a weight requirement to it, like it must be less than 1 pound or something like that. That would even be, But like I this is why like I kind of like the idea of going with a weight-based restriction instead of a value-based restriction, because like then there becomes these questions about like, well, what's this chair leg worth? That's basically an arrow, right? Like, but
do all sorts of shenanigans like beads of force and stuff, being like surprise.
Yeah,
I could see where that could be a problem. All right, I understand. I totally get why they did.
Although I do kind of wish they had left that up to where like a missile or like a dart or something that's like something that weighs less than 1 pound, and it does 1d10 force damage whenever you fling it at them. I think you could probably do something like that, but the fact that the ammunition is always destroyed is a bit rough. If you're using this with magic arrows, it's like, man, that I already don't like tracking arrows, and that would be a bit of a. But I mean, all that being said, I do think it's at least interesting how they've kind of counterbalanced it with like, it's not as far as Eldritch Blast. It's going to require the ammunition. And it's not as good, or it's not as far as like a longbow shot. So it's not objectively better all the time than other options.
Yeah. It's
But
also just exclusive to Psion anyway, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. Well, I guess Psion and Bard can go and pick it up. Well, no, they can't. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, that stuff is specific now. Okay, no, I like that. I like it.
Cool.
Yeah,
I skimmed over it earlier. I didn't notice that you actually threw the ammunition. I was like, oh, it's just generic pinger cantrip, but no, it's got a little extra something to it. I like it.
Isn't Intellect Fortress basically the same?
I believe it's literally the same. They gutted Tasha's Mind Whip though, and honestly, I'm kind of glad they did.
It needed it though, because that spell was fucking crazy.
Oh, they nerfed it.
It's kind of dog shit now, because it's like, oh, action or bonus action. I'm like, well, what if the monster has no bonus actions? At which point your spell does nothing. I mean, no opportunity attack as well, but like, who cares?
Yeah, if it was like it couldn't take reactions, you're shutting down counterspell. Like, I mean, I could see the reason why they would want to just go, it can't make opportunity attacks, especially for a level 2, but like, if it was at a higher level, look, if they had done higher level, if you cast it if this spell slot is of a level 5 or higher, the target can't take reactions, not just opportunity attacks. Then I think people would be like, holy fuck, yes, please.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really worthwhile thing.
Yeah, I think because it used to do reactions too, but that's one thing I've noticed is that any effect that kills reactions now seemingly only kills opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
I noticed that too when I was looking through the books.
I'm pretty certain that's because there was a pretty long period of time, like up until probably pretty soon up until print, where I was seemingly anyway, where they killed legendary actions and replaced them with those multi-reaction things that they tested out in like Planescape and stuff. But they never went back and then changed stuff like Shocking Grasp and I guess, well, sort of this, I suppose, by extension. They've kind of set a new precedent by making reaction killing worse, despite their reasoning for it no longer being in the game.
Wait,
it's not that big of a deal, but like...
I haven't looked at the monster manual. Does the new legendary resistance require a reaction?
I don't think so. Let me check.
I think it's kind of the same, isn't it?
It can just choose to save and it doesn't...
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Okay, alright, never mind then. I was like, oh, that would be a reason not to do it.
Most monsters get more of them as well. They get like 4 or 5 if they're in their lair. But they did away with lair actions instead.
I think it's kind of funny because weren't they talking about wanting to like ditch them, and then they gave some monsters one that's actually kind of fucking hilarious.
Well, they got rid of like the because like no monsters have layer actions anymore, right?
Yeah.
That's so weird. Like it was the coolest thing about a boss fight was like, no, literally the arena changes. Like that's the most interesting thing that you can do to spice up any kind of a fight that feels samey is like affect the environment. You know, like that's gonna make people go like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, Gavin. Yeah, there's a Psion. They just did the Unearthed Arcana drop. What, was this yesterday?
It was today.
Oh, it was today. Oh shit! I'm like, hey, well, there we go.
I think so. Let me see when the video came out because that'll probably just be the answer. Yeah, it was literally like 10 hours ago. Yeah, it was like earlier on.
You think it feels too much like an intelligence-based sorcerer? I mean.
So
that's kind of what a Psion is. Like,
I'm actually okay with that. If that's exactly what it is.
If they just wanted to like change the sorcerer's spellcasting ability to intelligence to play a Psion, then I'm like, yeah, that's an easy fix. All right. Like,
yeah.
You were saying
I find it's like, oh, sorry, carry on.
I was just looking at Astral Entity real quick. But yeah, carry on, Jack. What were you saying?
Yeah, I find I read through it this afternoon, and it's sort of and it's like it's perfectly serviceable. I was expecting it to be just a total travesty given original Mystic, but they see they've just like completely gone in a different direction. It feels like a little safe, I guess, but that's kind of a lot of like the 2024 rule stuff. It's aside from a few obvious exceptions, the classes are just a little safe, I guess. Like it's like, oh, it's here's psionics, but like you're just a caster, which is fine, like on paper, like that's fine. I like the synergy with the energy dice, the way they work with Psy Warrior and Soul Knife, like that's cool. Like they all work on the same system, and I think it scales the same for all 3 classes.
Oh, right, that whole discipline die or whatever it was called, right?
Yeah, I think they're just called psionic energy die, I think. Except this class obviously gets them at level 1 instead of at the subclass level.
See, whenever I saw that, and I was like, that's what originally inspired me to do a revision back in like 2017, was like, I saw that, and I was like, this could be so cool and completely getting rid of spellcasting if you just use this as a resource to like build around. And my Psion redesign back then was straight up like, this is just going to be the whole core like mechanic of the entire class. Crystal. Okay, so I'm taking a look real quick here at Astral Entity. So it's very similar to the other summon this creature kind of things. Resembles
very similar to Undead with the it's got two very ghostly things. And I'm not sure what the reasoning is for that.
Ghost, ectoplasm, crystal. Okay. The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points, or because it's like you're doing a seance. That makes more sense. Yeah. Okay. That's the vibe.
That makes a lot more sense.
Okay, so what can this thing do?
I actually like the crystal one, like the flavor around that. Cool. I'm imagining like some Dark Souls like Seat the Scaleless looking shit, you know?
Yeah. Okay, 40. Okay, so the ghost can fly. Yes. Okay, it can move through all that stuff. Cool. So you're summoning a ghost. It's immune to psychic damage. It has 60 feet of telepathy. Multi-attack.
Deep speech.
Oh, there you go. Number of attacks equal to half the spell's level. Okay, so you can get up to 4 attacks if you cast this with a 9th level spell. Wow. You could get a 22 AC crystal entity that has 4 different attacks on its turn.
It's so cool. I actually love that they did this with pets. I'm not gonna lie. Have you done too many pet builds? I recently was playing an Artificer for a Descent into Avernus campaign. The pets get fucking strong now, dude. Like, it's actually worth leveled spelling them. They even got rid of because I was playing a paladin. You know, they get like the seed and everything. They like baked in the fly speed on the find greater steed that was back in I forget which book it was. Maybe Xanathar's? I'm trying to remember where the fuck the find greater steed was.
Steed is from Xanathar's.
Probably right, yeah. But they baked all that stuff now into it. Like they got rid of like how Might of the Master worked, and they just like put all of that stuff into the stat blocks, which I honestly really appreciated. It makes the pets a lot stronger.
I just noticed this real quick. First time seeing of this, but I don't know. Have they been doing this in the monster manual? This says on a hit or miss.
I think there is 1 or 2 monsters in the monster manual. The original one that have it. They like toy with it a little bit, and then they just never touched it for like the entirety of original 5e's lifespan. It's like this miss effects and stuff.
Did 2025 do it?
As I don't know for sure, but from what I understand, they're doing it more.
I mean, I like the idea.
Yeah,
like,
it's cool.
Enemies need to punch a little bit harder like that. I mean, even if it's just like, like a 0.5%.
I've used a couple of 2025 monsters in games, and it's like, I think I looked at the Balgura, and I was like,
they're a lot stronger.
The 2025 guy, and he's like, this the big old ape is like 3 times stronger than he used to be. Like, I've used so many Balguras over the years, and I'm like, if I throw this thing at my players, it might actually kill one of them, and it got pretty close to.
Oh my god, the crystal entity though, this reaction. Yeah. It's hit by a melee attack roll. Response. It halves the damage, round down from that attack, and can then teleport to an unoccupied space it can see within 30 feet of itself.
That's so sick. I love how that would look.
Cool.
Well, and this is also encouraging it to hit itself. So or somebody else hits it, but if it hits itself, it can Misty Step.
Slap it on the ass. Get in there, champ.
Yeah, just tell it to like,
just the encouragement.
Yeah. It's literally like, Hey, go get him, Tiger! Like,
Fuck, dude, I want to play this and just try that out now.
I think of all of these I've seen, dude, you have to go crystal with this.
100%.
Yeah, it seems way cool. You get AC, you get this teleporty effect. What is the... Oh, the ghost guy gets the ghost and the ectoplasm guy get ranged. Yeah, the ghost guy just sucks.
Ghost goes really far with his range, though, 120 feet.
Oh, yes, I missed that.
That is a lot. There's that, and also the incorporeal passage. So, like, I guess exploration, but like, let's be real here. You don't blow 3rd level spells for exploration like that. There are way cheaper ways for you to do that. This crystal guy, though, dude, he's worth a 3rd level spell any goddamn day. Yeah,
he's pretty sweet.
Also, from what you were saying, I'd gladly dump a 9th level to summon one, honestly.
Yeah, I probably would. That is a pretty damn good.
Just to cap out the attacks. But yes.
I mean, yeah, AC 21 for each spell level above 3. Yeah, I mean, it's
true. That is true.
I would say it's worth it. I think what Crow was saying, I don't know that I would dump a 9th, but it's tempting. Because, like, man, this guy's...
I've seen people... Okay.
Yeah, plus it's flat damage on there, too. 1d10 plus 3 plus the spell's level piercing damage.
Yeah, the summon spells are just fucking great. I've like they've always been cool, and the update has just made them so much better. I think the summon beast and summon construct are still shit though.
Yeah.
I think the summon construct doesn't do magic damage still, and like even though they've no, that's not really a thing anymore in the monster.
No, yeah, it's like
it's not as prevalent, which is definitely for the best.
Is Rolathim's Psychic Lance the same? Because this was in Fizzbands, or was this?
Yeah, I believe it is the same.
Yeah, because the incapacitate. Yeah, my brother recently casted this one.
There is a note. The one thing they changed is they made it 100% crystal clear that you can't target people at infinite range, which you couldn't do to begin with, but people thought that you could because of you name a person.
You name it, yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, I could snipe a guy. I can like it's like the fucking dream nuking thing, but except it's 4th level now instead. Is an action. It's like no, they do actually need to just be in the. Just means you don't have to see them.
That is a very sick range condition. I love that idea.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Okay, so let's get up here into the psychic powers or psionic power.
There's another new one, telekinetic crush, but it's very simple. Just like
is it like brand new?
Yeah. It's a cube. It does force damage and prone people.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Yep, that's what you would expect. All right. So
I kind of like how simple it is. Like honestly, it's like
it's cool.
Yeah,
just pick people up and throw them on the floor. All right.
You need those, even if it's slightly exclusive to a class, and it's still like a thing where it's like this is a different spell and it has a different name, but it does something kind of similar to a wizard one, but this one's mine. It's still that exclusivity means a lot to players for some reason.
Yeah. Okay,
so you harbor a wellspring of psionic energy within yourself. This energy is represented by your psionic energy dice. Okay. Your psion level determines the dice size and the number of psionic energy dice you have, as shown in the energy die and number of dice columns of the psion features table. Does it increase? It increases in size. All right.
What does it do? D10 or D12?
D12.
Yeah. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure it has the exact same scaling as Psy Warrior and Soul Knight.
It does?
Did it go
it starts before? At 1. Yeah, it starts at 4 6s and finishes at 12 12s. It scales the same, except it starts at 1 instead.
Really interesting. Okay. Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, like you said, it starts at level 1. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, then how is the main keyed out class for this supposed to be better in some way? But let's see here. They're used to enhance or fuel certain Psion features. You start with 2 such features, Telekinetic Propel and Telepathic Connection, each of which is detailed below. Some of your powers expend the psionic energy dice as specified in a power's description, and you can't use a power if it requires you to use a die when all your dice are expended. You regain 1 expended die when you finish a short rest, and you regain all of them when you finish a long rest. Some features that use psionic energy dice require you to make a saving throw. The save DC equals the spell save DC from this class's spellcasting feature. Real quick pause. Do the Psi Warrior and the Soul Knife get it back on a long rest only, or do they also get it back on a short rest?
They have the same. It's literally the exact same resource.
Word for word?
It's the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's said in slightly more words here, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Telekinetic.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay. So they have a unique bonus action here. Choose one larger, smaller creature other than you that you can see within 30 feet of yourself, and then roll one of your psionic energy dice. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed up to a number of feet straight away from you, equal to 5 times the number rolled. The die is expended only if the target fails the saving throw. Ooh.
That's a fun control.
Oh.
Yeah. This seems like to be a straight upgrade to Psi Warrior's telekinetic movement, which is just bad. It's just bad.
That is crazy good.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Best straight up best part of this is, okay, the highlighter tool can get out of here. Come on, thank you. Now, oh, come on. This highlighter tool is super finicky. I think that resource saving little thing in there on the failure is pretty fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's really good.
Equal to 5 times the number rolled is a little bit fiddly. But at the very least, it is no worse than a shove.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for repositioning your allies too.
Yeah.
And they can willingly fail to save.
Yeah.
Yep. Or pulling them toward you as well. That's something you can't do with a shove.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good, actually. I think that makes you an incredible positioning tool. Telepathic connection. Telepathy with a range of 5 feet. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 psionic energy die and roll it. For a number of minutes equal to your Psion level, the range of your telepathy increases by a number of feet equal to 10 times the number rolled. I don't think people are going to use this.
I can see them.
I'm gonna roleplay it at least.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah,
I don't think it's worth a die whenever.
Not at level 1. No, it's like
no.
For 1 minute, I have a 35 foot on average.
I feel like it should just be on, but with like increased range as you level up instead.
Yeah, the psychic should just have a passive telepathy.
Yeah, and then it just gets bigger whenever your die increases.
But yeah,
well, that's very fair. Yeah, you do have a range of 5 feet. Yeah.
They just want 2 abilities for you to spend your dice on. It's just that the way you spend it on this is just not good. It's the fact that it's variable. It should just be like based on the maximum value of your die or something.
Yeah, I don't like the roll. I really don't like the roll determining it.
The roll on the pull is fine because it's really strong, so it being less reliable seems fair. But on this, it's just like, it just makes it just a mediocre ability already a lot worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're
even with a limited range.
They roll out with subtle telekinesis, which like this also could have been a power, but like I mean I guess they don't have a use for the psionic energy die for it, so that's probably why. But Mage Hand, it can become invisible. You can cast it without somatic components. Cool. Like, yeah, that's an easy telekinesis power mechanic right there. You learn 2 further psionic techniques that are fueled by your psionic energy dice. You gain 2 disciplines of your choice, such as expanded awareness and the id insinuation. Disciplines are described in the psionic discipline options section later in this class's description. You can use only 1 discipline each turn and only once per turn unless otherwise noted in one of those options. Oh, it's a stance switcher. Because it's not very specific like that, but like you can use one of these options and can't use a different one during the same turn.
So once again with stance swapping, look at psionic modes because it's like a full-on stance swap.
Yeah, it's like proper stance swap.
Oh yeah, just straight up.
Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah.
Yeah.
How many? Yeah. How many disciplines are there? Oh, okay. Biofeedback, devilish tongue, destructive thoughts, ego whip, expanded awareness, insinuation, inerrant. Oh, I thought it said inerrant arm for a second. I was like, wait, what? Inerrant aim, psionic backlash, psionic guard, swift precognition, tactical mind. Okay.
There's one for each pair of schools. So biofeedback is necromancy and transmutation, and precognition is abjuration and divination.
Oh yeah.
And then there's some extra ones as well. There's one for the study action and one for the influence action, which is kind of fun. Oh, and the search action as well. That's like interesting.
Okay.
How does the study thing work again? I was looking through the book recently and I saw the study action. I was like, huh. Like,
I think it's just a catch-all for making knowledge checks now. Like, it's just a refer to, instead of when you make an intelligence ability check, it's just when you take the study action.
I also saw they did other things with the study action too. To like, I think one of the examples, even like finding out weaknesses and resistances and shit for a monster, if I recall.
Yeah. So I can totally get into why they actually added this here. The study action was added because you had a lot of people who were trying to ask, like, can I tell whether or not, like, this thing is, like, a really hard shell, or can I tell would this thing be immune to fire damage? Can I tell, and they're trying to get information out of a passive thought, and now the game is going to take the heat instead and say, if you want to do that, that's going to require an action. So DMs didn't really DMs were kind of forced to be a bad guy there if they wanted to keep that in check. And so what they've done now is they've codified it with an actual action economy use. So if a player goes like, can't I just tell? It's like, well, to determine that, it's going to be this right here. So, yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, Pathfinder's had it forever anyways, and a lot of the players that play that like the fact that they can just roll to be like, I know it has X weakness, and so
right.
Like, might as well just take it.
They've also codified what creature types account for which skill, which is nice. It's like,
I saw that. I thought that was actually kind of cool. Wasn't it like religion for like demons and celestials?
Yeah, something like that.
Demons, celestials, fiends, and undead. Nature is beasts, dragons, oozes, and plants.
Yeah.
History is giants and humanoids, and then all the others are.
I like that because I've had a couple DMs in the past that didn't quite know where to go with that whenever I'd ask questions like that. So I don't know. I think that's kind of helpful for newer DMs,
cool,
especially.
Piece of guidance for people who like go looking for it. Yeah.
Ooh, insinuation looks very good.
Yeah, it's. I remember seeing it because insinuation.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, this is fucking crazy good.
It's Here's my hypnotic pattern. You have -12. Good luck, loser.
Yeah.
Here's my psychic prison. Yeah.
Although I will say it's only on the initial save and not any subsequent saves. Yeah. So at least there's that little grace there, but like that might be a must pick. This might be the god tier power. Because like the extra damage up here with like destructive thoughts is okay. It's psychic damage equal to the number rolled plus your intelligence modifier. That's not bad. I'm not saying that's bad at all.
But being able to fuck you over when I would normally be casting a save or suck spell, that's pretty strong.
Nine times out of 10, this is action economy denial.
Yeah,
this is fucking crazy good.
Yeah, it's like they knew what they were up to with this. That's for sure. That's nuts.
Inerrant aim. Whenever you make an attack roll against a creature and miss, inerrant aim. Like I can't miss. You can roll one psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the attack roll, potentially turning the miss into a hit. This causes the attack to hit. The die is expended. Okay, like nice little. Yeah, that's nice.
If you still miss, if you roll like a dipshit, you still get your stuff back. That's nice.
Yeah.
Immediately after a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to expend one psionic energy die, roll 2 energy dice, and subtract the number rolled on each die from the total. In addition, you can force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes psychic damage equal to the amount rolled on the 2 psionic energy dice.
Wait, you rolled 2 dice to subtract from the roll?
Yeah.
I guess it's a reaction as 1 attack. It's not that big of a deal.
It's a reaction, a die expense. Like it's good.
Yeah.
It's not mind blowing.
Yeah, but also his negative 13 to your roll. I guess this is level 7. Fuck it, it could be busted at level 17.
I mean,
honestly,
busted at level 1 too. But
you're getting swung at by pit fiends rolling 34s for their attack rolls. Like, you're gonna have to actually roll fucking 14 to stop him from hitting you. You know?
Yeah.
Are there still attack roll spells in the game? Yeah, there's actually more because if I remember this correctly, don't all the summon creatures' attack rolls count as you making a spell attack roll?
I don't think so.
Or do they benefit from anything that benefits from your spell attack roll? Is something like that?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. There's at a quick glance, there's nothing that would suggest that they do. As far as I'm aware, the summon spells are like basically unchanged from Tasha's. They're like pretty much just straight out the best thing that came from Tasha's. The summon spells are awesome.
They really streamlined them.
Yeah. It's no different from a first level paladin smite rolling 2d8 damage. Yeah, I'm just kind of like I'm wondering if this is worth it compared to this up here. But I mean, I guess you don't have to really specifically pick, you know. At the start of your turn, you can expend 1 psionic energy die. Until the start of your next turn, you have immunity to the charmed and frightened conditions and advantage on intelligence saving throws. If you are charmed or frightened when you use this discipline, the condition ends on you. When you use psionic guards, you can also use a different psionic discipline this turn.
Oh?
Yeah, you get this. You pick this up.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I will trade a psionic energy die for immunity to charmed and frightened conditions, yes. And a cleanse. It's not the cleanse is so fucking good. Like, Monk has to wait till when to get this? Or is it Monk or what is it? Stillness? It's not like stillness of mind or something.
No, you 100% right. I don't know if it's still in the game though.
Yeah, it was like an action, and you just end these conditions. Barbarian, Monk, and
I'm
Bard.
not sure what it used to be.
Well, I think they just get it passively, like you're always immune to it now, right, Phil? Is it still an action? I mean, it's good. It's a good action.
Oh, hang on. No, it's at the end of each of your turns. So but that's at the end. So you still,
this is still stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, this is way better.
And then you can still do another discipline too. You're not limited.
Yeah. Pretty strong. I guess it's very narrow. You got the opportunity cost of picking this over something else when you may only use it once or twice. But when you do use it, you're gonna be like, man, I'm glad I picked it.
Swift precognition is not bad. When you cast a Scion spell from the Abjuration or Divination School with a casting time of an action, you can expend a number of psionic energy dice to change the casting time of a bonus action for this casting. The number of dice equals 1 plus the spell's level.
That's interesting.
Oh. It's not bad. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Could you 9th level with this then? Yeah, because if you had
here's
12 dice.
Here's the thing you do. Here's the thing. Immediately, first spell on the spell list, you spend 1 dice to cast Blade Ward as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Blade Ward's concentration now. Never mind. That's actually just completely reasonable. Never mind.
Is it Mage Armor an action?
Yeah, that's good in a pinch.
So,
you're absolutely right. Intellect Fortress.
Is Mage Armor 10 minutes?
Let me double check.
No, it's an action.
I thought it was I thought it was an action. I think you're thinking of the duration. I think the duration is 10 minutes.
I thought duration was like 8 hours. Yeah.
Wait, oh shit, is it?
Action 8 hours. It's very expensive, but bonus action banishment is pretty funny.
No, you're right. It's an action. Shit. Yeah, it's an action for 8 hours duration.
What are you casting divination wise with this though?
True Strike. That's
I forgot about that. Yeah, correct. You're casting True Strike.
That's yeah.
Oh, it's good now, right?
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, True Strike is fucking crazy good. Yeah, it's
they overcompensated.
The fact that it's that's how you're supposed to gish at this point is you go True Strike.
Do they get it though? Is it on their list?
Yeah. I'm
Let's go.
like control Fing for all their divination spells.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, the divination is basically just True Strike, and theoretically, maybe well, what was it? Skimmed past it. Shouldn't have done. Fuck.
Mind Spike as a bonus action.
Yeah. Mind Spike.
Oh,
Mind
see
Spike is
invisibility.
still terrible. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that could be useful.
Yeah, that's actually quite good.
Yeah, Mind Spike still sucks, but like bonus action damage spell, pretty okay.
I think Detect Magic is probably worth it.
Yeah, there's definitely situations where it is.
Because you can actually do something about what you detect.
Yeah.
Tongues. Okay, Arcane Eye is not really worth the bonus action.
Yeah, once you get past level 3, it's like, do you really want to be spending 6 of your X number of dice to do one thing? And the answer
fuck.
Is
True Seeing is True Seeing in action?
Yeah, yes, I think so.
They get gayish. They get gayish on a class that allows you to subtract from the saving throw.
Oh,
let's fucking go.
Funny, Gias is hilarious.
Let's fucking go. It's still a minute cast
Holy
time, though.
fuck. Well, I mean, I'll take it. Yeah, this doesn't have an action requirement.
Oh, that's really fun.
Oh my
I guess,
god, that's good.
Yeah.
You just get a -12 in your save and do what I want.
Yeah, you literally have a thrall for the next month.
I love that it lasts 30 days. It's
It's
great.
so wild, dude.
You still have to like capture the guy though, because like casting a minute-long spell like that though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
Still really useful.
Isn't Hold Monster enchantment? Yep.
Yeah. I from what I remember, I don't think you can concentrate on a spell while you're casting a spell with a longer casting time, but I might just be entirely making that up. Let me go.
Oh, I don't think Gaish requires concentration.
Oh no, I'm talking about.
No, I see the operation. Yeah. Okay, sorry, that's my bad.
Let me because I'm like I'm not sure if I'm just like making that up, so I'm gonna go look it up.
Foresight's like a minute casting time, right?
No, I think it's an action.
Is it really?
Yeah, because it's crazy.
Oh, it's a minute.
No, you're right. It's a minute.
Okay, I was like, I don't think they want you casting that one in combat.
Yeah, I mean, for 10 psionic energy dice, doing that as a bonus action of your 12 total is like, sure, you can just fucking do that, dude. Like, fine.
I would allow it to happen just because it's like that is a Nova of a support move.
Yeah.
But most people aren't going to do that. They have fucking time stop and weird.
Weird's really good now as well.
Yeah,
which I love. Weird is really good.
They get so much enchantment on here. And Mind Blank. Wait, what? Feeble Mind, is that still a thing?
It's called Befuddlement now. But yes.
Oh, they renamed it? What were they like? Yeah. Oh, Feeble Mind is ableist? Was that like the whole shtick behind it?
I would assume so. Yeah. I don't see any other reason for them to have changed it.
Oh god.
I remember right when the books came out. I was like, I need to look and see what new spells are actually in the books. I like Google to like say like what new spells are in the new monster manual. Like I got like some random like listicle site that was like, okay, these are probably, and the Befuddlement was on there. I was like, oh, these people they don't know. they don't know.
I mean, Mind Blank is another one that like people should really consider. I remember like Stephen Fiddler.
Power Word Stuns on there. Power Word Kills.
That's
on there too, right?
Really fucking good. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Power Word Kill doesn't need a save though, right? It's just HP requirement.
Yeah, it just happens.
Yeah.
Power Word Stun is crazy though. I mean, I say that literally any control enchantment spell cast with the Insinuation is bonkers. It's so good.
Yeah. Stephen Fiddler, whenever he wrote I think it was the Prism class, he was the guy that...
Love Prism.
he was the guy that really showed me how strong Mind Blank was. Here we go. This is a super underrated spell. You don't hear people talking about this at all. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is immune to psychic damage, any effect that would sense its emotions or read its thoughts, divination spells, and the charm condition. The spell even foils wish spells and spells or effects of similar power to affect the target's mind or gain information about the target. This is a hard counter to the Vecna stat block. Like, this is pretty fucking crazy good.
Is it still the same?
Yeah.
24?
Well, this is a
It's
legacy
exactly the
version. Is it exactly the same though?
It's worded differently, but ostensibly, yeah. I see not even wish in between EM dashes.
Nice.
It's an action touch, 24 hours, no costly components whatsoever.
It's abjuration. You could bonus action it.
Well, it got buffed because it's not specific to divination spells. It's just read its thoughts or magically detect its location now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
right.
so it is a buff. And it's a very good spell. This is one of those ones that, like, you feel like if you're playing a political intrigue thing and you get involved with, like, anything psionic, like, fucking with your party, you do this. It's very... Mind Blink is very, very good.
And now that you can do it as a bonus action if you do it right, that's pretty tasty.
Yeah, you can do it as a bonus action. I mean, it's still worth an action. It's very good, but now you can just do it twice. If you wanted to blow if you wanted to blow a 9th level spell on it, you could do it again. But I'd say that's a really situational fight.
100%.
But there's not a way for this buff to be removed. Like, this is a hard lock. You're immune to psychic damage, and if a monster doesn't have many other choices for what else to do to damage you, that just shuts down a lot of fights.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Actually, wait, does that make you immune to the Mind Flayer's brain drain shit?
I hope so.
Because I couldn't remember if that was piercing.
Oh, for the devour brain thing?
Extract brain is 55 piercing damage, yeah.
Piercing damage. But it has... there's like a caveat to it, right?
It has to be grappling you, and that's it.
Oh. Well, God, freedom of movement's fucking great.
Yeah. Fucking... Oh, man. Mind Flayers are so weird, because they're like... On their own, they're like kind of interesting, but by their nature, then they're never alone, unless they're in a really, really bad spot. But fighting multiple players is torture.
You might be thinking for the caveat one for a brain thing. You might be thinking of intellect devourers because you got to be so low before they can do their thing.
Oh, okay. So psionic modes. Here's the stance swap. You have honed your psionic powers to act as both a shield and a weapon in battle. As a bonus action, you can choose one of the following modes, granting you a certain benefit for 1 minute or until you use this feature again. Attack mode. Damage from your weapon, attacks, psion spells, and psion features ignores resistance to psychic damage. In addition, when you roll damage for a spell, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to re-roll a number of dice up to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1, and you must use the new rolls. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's just empowered spell. That's interesting.
Okay, defense mode, you have resistance to psychic damage. In addition, when you fail an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, you can take a reaction, expend 1 psionic energy die, roll that die, and add it to the saving throw, potentially turning a failure into a success. You can use this feature twice, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So, you use the bonus action, you're using the feature, correct?
Yeah.
Alright. So...
It seems alright.
Yeah.
Like, defense mode is very good, but situational attack mode is just alright.
It's tracking another resource, which I don't like.
Yeah, I don't mind it so much. It's one of those things where it's like you've got 2 uses of it. It's like you get one free and then one you need to actually think about. I don't mind that so much.
Yeah. Dispel magic. No, yeah, Phil, you literally can't dispel the spell. Mind blank like can't be removed. It straight up foils it, like it is a hard set. This foils anything that tries to end it. It's insane. Scion subclass. Okay, you can go the Metamorph, the Psywarper, the Psykinetic, and the Telepath. Ability score improvement. Huh?
I think Mind Blank can be dispelled. I don't think there's anything that specifies it can't be.
It can't be foiled by... Hang on.
Something.
Let me get the wording. No spell, straight up says, no spell, not even wish, can gather information on the target, observe it remotely, or control its mind. Okay, well...
Yeah, if we're going off of like just what the spell says, it definitely can be dispelled. I think.
That would be what you're casting a eighth. Wait, what level of detect magic does that, or dispel magic does that require?
That'd be eighth.
I mean, you could cast it at any level. You still get a roll. Especially if you have a good intelligence or a high bonus. Obviously, it's a high roll, but like it's yeah, it's if you wanted to just like hard remove it, you need an 8th level one, which is, I mean, you can do, but like otherwise, you would just roll and then make an intelligence or make a spellcasting check at DC 18. But it's just with your ability, so it's like a pretty hard DC. It's like assuming you have +5, then you have 13 or.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Thank you. It's not like I played twice a week. All right. My bad, Phil. Okay. So, I'm not a fan of the tracking on this particular thing, but yeah, we'll move on from there. 5th level Psionic Restoration. When you finish a short rest, you can regain expended psionic energy dice with no more than a number equal to half your number of dice. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Okay. Psionic Surge. When you roll initiative, you can expend one of your hit point dice and regain one expended use of psionic modes.
Oh, I missed that.
Okay.
Okay.
Huh.
That could just be a core thing of it.
What's that next part right there?
In addition, after you roll one or more psionic energy dice, you can expend one of your hit point dice and treat any roll of a 1, 2, or 3 on those psionic energy dice as a 4.
Okay. I kind of like hit point expenditures for what we were talking about control and like the whole fantasy of a psionic being able to kind of push themselves. So I don't know. I kind of like that, but I could kind of see where you're coming from about introducing it maybe a little earlier. But I see why they wanted to put both these things here at level 7.
You should go check out my Vanguard. Now that we have psionics, can we now get spell points? Listen, Watsy Fancy Magic sucks. You should go check out Vagabond.
Perchance, maybe you could.
Or, the games that inspired it, like Errant or Mage the Ascension or Neoclassical
really
Geek Revival.
good.
Errant's very good.
Stealing things from it is perfect for that. It is a great book.
Did I tell you?
Systems.
Did I tell you, Crow? Aba Islam bought Vagabond.
You did, yeah.
I saw that email come through, and I was like, "Aw, thank you!" Like,
that's so cool.
Oh wow! And then they don't really have anything until their capstone.
Jeez. Yeah, everybody gets the epic boon now thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, they get that at 19th. Once per turn, and then their 20th level. Once per turn, when you expend one psionic energy die and roll it for a psion feature or psionic discipline, you can expend 2 of your hit point dice to roll 2 additional psionic energy dice and add the numbers rolled to the total.
Hey, buddy, you want to save against my hypnotic pen? You have negative.
Oh wow!
That's
negative 36 to the roll.
Yeah.
Get destroyed.
You're level 20. Like, who even cares at that point? But that's really funny.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because it's level 20. Like, you're not going to use it the same way, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to play in a campaign.
Well, and it's requiring your hit dice.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, like, it is limited, and it's naturally limited here, which I like.
Yeah. I'm just seeing Enkindled Life Force and Id Insinuation almost directly next to each other in the layout.
Yeah. I think this could use
Scream at -36.
this needs polishing, but what I will say is I am not nearly as worried about this as I was based off of the internet rumors.
It's
I had no
kind
idea
of
people knew
cool.
this was coming. This was shadow drop for me. I've not been following D&D
It's
news like
not
that.
shaking things up by any means. It is fairly
No,
safe,
no.
but I mean, it's solid so far. Like, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
has
unbalanced
cool-
by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
hate it.
cool bones.
I would be absolutely fine if somebody wanted to try this out. I think that it's going to require that kind of like managing of a couple different resources, but like honestly, it's not that bad of a juggle.
no, not at all.
Let me see what the subclasses are.
But the first one
Metamorph.
is weird. I like it.
Oh, you're like a biological scion like mutant thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Wait. What the fuck?
Yeah, your mastery of psionic powers turns inward. Your own flesh becomes like clay to you, and you mold it to turn it to the perfect vessel of your psionic powers. Experience in manipulating your life energy also enables you to adjust the life force of friends and foes alike. You're a body horror, is what you're doing right now.
I'm gonna activate my Viscera launcher, like name.
Yeah.
My Hasbro-owned company, Wizards of the Coast. Here is my Viscera launcher.
Oh yeah,
It's
okay.
great. It does go pretty hard.
You can shape your limbs into weapons. Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
going back to the classics, because that was one of the original like choices for the Psionicist as well.
Oh, nice.
this is this is the kind of weird I'm here for. Like I love the disgusting body horror, but the thing that I think is even funnier, this is a healer.
Yeah.
This is a healer. It's got, I'm going to assume, like, tank potential, but it's a cure wounds, lesser restoration, aura of vitality, mass cure wounds.
This is the healer, the gross one, and the Gish at the same time.
This is so fucking funny.
That's pretty cool.
This reminds me of like in the 40k psychic disciplines, this would be like a biomancer is kind of what this reminds me of.
Yeah.
I really like this stuff here.
You can shape your limbs into weapons whenever you take the attack action or make an opportunity attack. You can reform your free hand into one of the following organic weapons:
You just do it whenever-
Bone Blade, Flesh Maul, or Viscera Launcher. Dude, we're all playing the diarrhea splatter Scion. Like,
This reminds me of, what was that one fucking game where like you're like a superhero that's like an infected like monster dude.
yes, fucking
Prototype.
prototype. Thank
right?
you.
Yes, there we go.
Yes.
This is
Yeah,
just prototype.
it's
I love
prototype.
that.
It is.
Your limb immediately returns to its previous form after your organic weapon hits or misses the target. Whenever you attack with the weapon, you can use your intelligence modifier for the attack and damage rolls instead of using strength and okay, it's a Gish, and it deals psychic damage with its hits. A blade made of bone springs from your forearm and extends from your hand. The blade counts as a simple weapon with the finesse property, and it deals 1d8 piercing damage on a hit. Dude, you can play like a disgusting rogue, like Scion. Who wants to go Soul Knife? You can go fucking sneak attack
Bone Knife.
Bone Blade. Yeah, like
Bone knife. Here's the thing: these weapons.
Oh my
don't
God,
have
wait,
mastery
ye-
traits.
you have advantage on the attack roll.
Huh? What?
They want you to fucking multi-class it in the rogue.
That's built for it.
Wow. Yeah.
That's kind of sick,
crazy.
actually.
You're still pretty squishy if you're solo
You get pack
classing
tactics
this.
on that
at
shit.
the
Yeah.
moment.
Oh,
It's
that's
pack
right.
tactics on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not, I mean, it's still good. Like, that's still fucking crazy good. Every UA are actually for DMs to make funky NPCs to fight. I mean, you know this stuff makes it in the books, right?
Yeah.
Flesh Maul. Your fist and forearm coalesce into a hardened mass of flesh and bone. The maul counts as a simple melee weapon and deals 1d10 bludgeoning damage on a hit.
Crazy.
Creature hit has disadvantage on the next strength or constitution saving throw it makes before the start of its next turn. Are there many strength or constitution saving throw spells that you have that this combos with?
That's a point. Well, telekinetic crush is either one of those, so I guess there's that.
Oh, okay, so you hit them with the maul and then fucking just crush them again.
Or you're thinking about just solo, like you're going in to gish this, knocking them silly, and then the wizard comes in.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, but typically when I'm thinking about the entire package, I like to see that there's like a little inborn combo as well. It's not just like, I'm going to rely on the wizard to always follow up with this thing. That's kind of a bit pushy in terms of the design. And I try to avoid that where I can.
Yeah, looking at 1 and 2, I'm seeing Shatter. And that's kind of it, I think.
All right, so
I will say this. As we're reading this, I've never smiled this hard reading a D&D subclass. This goes incredibly hard.
This is cool. I think this is a lot of fun. Visceral launcher, your hand and forearm transform into a crossbow made of muscle and sinew that fires bolts of bile.
Let's go.
The launcher counts as a simple ranged weapon with a normal range of you become like a hydralisk? From fucking StarCraft? Like, what the fuck?
You're just fucking Kazakhs or some shit.
Yeah, it's like,
I love that. It's so gross. This is the fuck.
If you just straight up want to play just like a disgusting fucking sewer creature, like this is pretty good for that.
Yeah, just a nasty ass dude.
1d6 acid damage on a hit. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with an attack roll using the launcher, you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target. Acid damage to the target. Okay. Already this is hilarious.
Also crazy. You have all 3 of these all the time.
Yeah. And it's as a part of the attack action or an opportunity attack, and it does not
between them. You can Bone Blade and then Flesh Maul a guy.
Yeah.
Wait, you can swap that? Oh my god, you can.
It's not a choice. It's you are.
I love that.
You always have these weapons available.
It's very cool.
The
second one is another thing where I'm like, why is this so flexible? I thought you just pick one, and it's like, no, it's all of them.
Well, I think you take the attack action, you can swap it, which is pretty dope.
The thing to remember, though, this is still on a D6 hit die class.
Oh, 100%.
And you don't have armor proficiency, so you're gonna have to go snag that. I mean, the way to Gish it's gonna be do what?
Oh, you take mage armor, but you don't have shield.
Oh, right.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
So there's a little bit of a trade-off here.
Yeah.
I think the Gish build for this, the Gish build for this is going to be. I mean, it'll be a Treant Monk video. The Gish build for this is going to be something that's going to be a little bit specific. That I don't really. I think through crunching it out, we could probably determine, this is going to be what people are always going to be doing with it. But honestly, the Viscera launcher is so fucking funny. The only thing I want to do is play a little puke boy fucking Psion. That is so goddamn funny.
A little puke boy?
Kitty
puke boy.
This is my puke boy, little stinker.
Just I'll get Edmund McMillan to do the character sheet art.
God.
Extend limbs.
I just love fucked up little dudes, so I'm just really digging the subclass. I'm really digging it.
It's already hit really hard. This is already won me over.
Extend limbs is crazy.
Bonus action: expend a psionic energy die for the next minute. You gain the following benefits, not just one.
I thought it was.
Your reach increases by 5 feet. You might not need shield. You don't even need you don't even need a disengagement tool.
Just don't get hit, dude.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Yeah, 5 head, just leave.
Wow.
When you cast a spell that has a range of touch and a casting time of an action, you can make the spell's range 10 feet.
Ooh.
That's
cool.
Also quite good. Extra attack. Do what?
Bro just turns into Mr. fucking fantastic.
What were you saying, Jack?
Oh no! I was saying that the regular reach is probably stronger, but even then, the touch range is really good.
I mean, that's for a spell too.
I know. Yeah, It's a shame it doesn't affect a grapple. It would. Speaking from experience, it's pretty busted if it does, but it's really fun.
I think they put it specifically for the cure wounds.
Yeah, quite possible.
Oh yeah, there you go. Extra attack. I guess the speed is kind of a little boost to like aura vitality, but not really. I guess it's there. Extra attack is here. Quickened healing. When you cast Cure Wounds, you can expend 2 psionic energy die to change the casting time to a bonus action for this casting. When you do, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add a number rolled to the total number of hit points restored. Okay, it's the dominant healing spell, but now as a bonus action. So fuck healing word apparently.
And at a 10-foot range.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah, the combat healing has never seemed more desirable than this. I'm still not going to do it, but like I would want to.
Yeah.
The extra attack, all of the subclasses with extra attack, getting Blade Singer like Gish extra attack is very nice. I love that they've been doing that.
Yeah.
Gish is a fun. True Strike is great. I want Booming Blade back, pretty please.
Thank you, please and thank you.
Pretty please, whoever has replaced Jeremy Crawford, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just saw the term stony epidermis and I'm already in.
That's pretty good.
When you use extend limbs, the duration increases to 10 minutes and you gain one of the following benefits of your choice, with the effects of which lasts for the same duration. Stony epidermis, you have advantage on constitution saving throws to maintain concentration. In addition,
that's the one you pick already.
Yeah, that's very good. Choose one of the following types of damage: acid, bludgeoning, cold, fire, lightning, piercing, poison, slashing, or thunder.
You could pick you can pick a physical type. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh Christ.
You gain resistance to the chosen type. The only one missing here is radiant, necrotic, and psychic. Force. Thank you.
Oh, force. Yeah. You get psychic from defense from.
You already get it as a
scion
position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Jonathan, I extend my stony epidermis.
Yeah.
She stones on my epidermis until I mutable form, bro.
Oh man. Superior stride. While you aren't wearing armor, you can take the dash action as a bonus action, and you have a climb and swim speed equal to your speid.
Skittering up the wall.
Yeah, you just go goblin mode, like fucking. Like this is like
this is my goblin metamorph.
Yes,
little stinker.
Everybody's gonna be playing like just a goblin degenerate scion with this thing, and just like, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a horror from a Japanese movie like The Ring or something.
What are those little bug ant guys again? Well, I'm trying to remember their name. The 4 arms.
Thrycreen?
Thrycreen. This would go so hard as a Thrycreen.
Oh
yeah.
Yes.
They're also, aren't they like traditionally psionic as well? Anyway. That's
Yes. They were originally from Dark Sun.
Yeah. I can't remember if they were Dark Sun or Spelljammer as well, because I know they're in.
Yeah, they were big in
They were introduced to
Spelljammer.
it in 5e, but I wasn't sure if they had any extra history there as well, or if it was just we haven't released Thrycreen. Let's put them in the stinker book, the terrible book.
Wait, unnatural flexibility. You gain a +2 bonus to AC, and your body, along with any equipment you're wearing or carrying, becomes pliable. You can move through any space as narrow as 1 inch, and you can spend 5 feet of movement to escape from non-magical restraints or end the grappled condition.
Bro can live in your walls. What the fuck?
You get Shield of Faith, Amorphous, and the better parts of freedom of movement. Maybe this is the one you pick. Situationally, I suppose. That's very, very.
Human tapeworm.
Yeah, a human tapeworm. That's fucking disgusting. So the one thing here, I don't know if there is an action economy cost to this. I'm just really curious how this plays out. You can spend 5 feet of movement. I don't see it saying an action, bonus action, or like at the start of your turn or the end of your turn, anything like that. So I'm just assuming this works if you're grappled. You can just spend the 5 feet and get out of it.
Yeah. It's the same as freedom of movement.
So it's instantaneous?
I believe so.
That's very fucking good.
From what I'm reading, it's just an auto, you get out.
I mean, the +2 bonus to
it's
AC is a decent enough passive, but I mean, they're all good. They're all good options. I think the funniest one is Superior Stride. But
that's a point. Does grappled still bring your speed to 0?
So you can spend movement while you can't move because you're escaping the grapple simultaneously. Like freedom of movement is worded the exact same way. Like it does.
Oh yeah,
that's awkward.
Yeah, it's like a weird, it's like a Magic the Gathering level layers type thing. Or not, it's not quite a layers level thing, but it is.
Yeah.
Weirdly, like the obvious intention is that it works, but like it is kind of weird.
Yeah.
In practice.
Level 14, they're capstone life-bending weapons. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with your organic weapon, you can expend 1 psionic energy die and roll it. Each creature of your choice in a 10-foot emanation originating from you regains hit points equal to the number rolled plus your intelligence modifier. Additionally, 1 creature of your choice in that area takes necrotic damage equal to the number rolled. Okay, this is a fucked up paladin, and I love it.
It's pretty great.
I am all here for this weird fucking metamorph thing.
This alone, like, the rest of the class, irregardless, is like making me regret the fact that I have my own Psion in my home game.
Yeah.
Just because this thing is fundamentally incompatible with the way that it works. This thing's very cool.
I actually like that a lot. Yes, okay, thank Christ. I was hoping there was like a teleportation Psion in here.
Yeah.
Psi Warper.
Yeah.
Warp space with the power of your mind. They tune their psionic powers to manipulating the space between objects, capable of teleporting across a battlefield and creating vacuums in space. A Psi Warper is never in one place for too long. Expeditious Retreat, Featherfall, Misty Step, Shatter, Blink, Haste, Banishment, Dimension Door, Steel Wind Strike. Interesting that's here. This is a Gish, isn't it? Is it a Gish? Oh, they don't get extra attack.
No.
Well, I guess they're getting Steel Wind Strike, but yeah. You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot, and you must finish a long rest before you can cast it this way again. You can also restore use of it by expending 1 psionic energy die. No action required. That's good.
Ooh,
that's very good. Freebie miss. It's not free, but come on now. Basically, that becomes free.
Yeah. It's not as good as the Archfey one, which gets multiple free, stronger Misty Steps, but that's like the whole point of that class, is it's Misty Step, the subclass.
When a target fails its saving throw against your telekinetic propel, instead of pushing it, you can teleport the target to an unoccupied space that you can see within 30 feet of you that is horizontal to you. Yeah.
That could be fun.
That's a cliff push, right?
Or like, a barred off area, like get in the box. Like
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, warp space. What the fuck?
When you cast Shatter, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to modify the spell so that the radius of the spell sphere becomes 20 feet. In addition, creatures that fail the saving throw against the spell are pulled straight toward the center of the sphere, ending in an unoccupied space close to the center of the sphere as possible.
You make a fucking wormhole?
Yeah, it's like a
cool.
gravity well. Yeah, that's sick.
You boost the radius. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Without diving into it too hard, I just like the cinematic of it. It's just nice.
This next one is absurd.
Duplicitous target. When a target
no teleporter combat.
Wait, what?
You missed
teleport. I skipped one. Okay. Immediately after you cast Misty Step, you can cast one of your silent cantrips that has a casting time of an action as a part of the bonus action.
Ooh.
Teleports behind you. Nothing personnel, kid. True. Column.
That's very Siri. Like I love the idea. That is getting quite anime on it. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Duplicitous target. When a creature you can see makes an attack roll against you, you can take a reaction to expend 1 psionic energy die and choose a willing creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself that doesn't have the incapacitated condition. You and the willing creature teleport, swapping places with one another. The creature then becomes the target of the attack roll. They have to be okay with taking it, but let's be real here. Like, the barbarian's going to be just fine with that.
Oh yeah.
It is before they swing, so I guess you kind of need to be like, oh, I'm low or whatever, and the other guy is healthy. But even then, that's still really good.
As a magic,
somebody was saying they wish this thing got scatter. The capstone, it's scatter.
As a magic action, you can expend 4 psionic energy dice and choose huge or smaller creatures. Oh, that's I feel like I haven't heard that wording before.
Yeah, that's new. I don't hate it though.
Within 30 feet of yourself, up to a number of creatures equal to your intelligence modifier. Each of the chosen creatures is teleported to an unoccupied space you can see within 150 feet of you.
Better than scatter. You can teleport them into the air.
An unwilling creature that succeeds on the wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC is unaffected. That's really fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, chat, for all intents and purposes, this is the entire length of any practical battle mat you're ever going to be playing on.
Oh, yeah.
You're literally
double it.
Yeah, we're talking about like
it can be friend and foe. You're just playing chess. You're just moving shit around.
Yeah.
And you're also, moving your foes to where you want them to be 150 feet above that space, so they fall and take 15 d6 bludgeoning damage and land prone in the space you want them
which
to be
is
in.
really funny.
Now it
they're
is
probably going to add a solid surface or liquid that can support them clause onto this, but
do you think that they're going to do that, or are they just going to let you drop it? I kind of don't mind it this late.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. Is more my thought, and I would.
It's
rather
minion
they
clear.
That's true. That's
it's
true.
this is just minion clear. At that point, yeah, let them fuck the minions up by teleporting them 150 feet in the air. Yeah, absolutely.
That's fair.
People aren't using this to solo a Tarask or anything.
Yeah.
This is a 6th level Xanathar spell. Yeah, I think they were talking about that as scatter.
Yeah.
And it's a capstone ability. I think that it's actually fine as is, but then again, someone might come along and say, this always comes with a caveat. This is a first blush thing. I always get in the comments every single fucking time I do one of these things. Someone's like, why didn't you consider this very specific combination of things and this one spell from a homebrew thing that you haven't ever seen yet? I'm always like, my dude, we're literally looking at it for the first fucking time ever. All right,
the
psychonetic
on these subclasses so far has actually been like pretty good compared to the Mystic, I will say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. The original Mystic had I think there was 5 or 6 subclasses, and all but one of them were just bad because they were accounting for the fact that you got your power from your disciplines or whatever. And then there was the one super broken one. That was the one. I think it was woo something. I think was the one, I think.
Wu Gen or something. It felt really specific.
Yeah, Wu Gen. Yeah.
The psychonetic controls their psionic powers like a malleable force. They bend their telekinetic energies into sturdy barriers and strike with the force of a battering ram. Are you playing Adam Eve now? And Green Lantern?
Oh, yeah.
Cloud of Daggers, Levitate. There's your shield right there. Thunderwave. Slow, Telekinetic Crush. Autoluke's Resilient Sphere. Stone Shape. Telekinesis, Wall of Force. This is going to be Green Lantern. When you use your Telekinetic Repel, you can impose one of the following effects on that target. Their speed increases by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. They can't make opportunity attacks until the start of its next turn. If the target fails the saving throw, it takes force damage equal to the number rolled on the psionic energy die. All right, so that's there. That's all fine. I'm trying to see.
Bolt sucks, but otherwise, yeah, those are all okay.
Yeah.
This seems like the least. It's got the least going for it at level 3. It has one okay ability at level 3, and all the others have 2 very good abilities.
Yeah, empowered attack mode is quite good. In fact, I would say that this seems to be the kind of thing that is just on the base class. While you're using those modes, you have a fly speed. Every psychic we know can fly, and this is the first time I think I'm seeing one of the scions that is flying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Levitation.
They do get fly. So I guess there's that.
Yeah, but like I would want it to just be base. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Rebounding field. When you cast shield in response to being hit by an attack roll and cause a triggering attack to miss, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to launch the force back at the attacker. The attacker makes a dexterity saving throw. Oh, it's deflect missiles. Force damage equal to the amount rolled.
Oh, you send it back. Ooh.
Yeah, you're getting the benefits of shield and deflect missiles.
Except that's not just ranged.
Oh, it also gives you temp if they fail, but only if they fail, which is interesting.
Okay.
Double bounce. Bounce to them and then bounces back to you for health, I guess.
Yeah, enhanced telekinetic crush. When you cast telekinetic crush, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to modify the spell so that whether a creature fails or succeeds on the saving throw against the spell, its speed is halved until the start of your next turn.
Quite good.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. When you cast telekinesis, you can expend 4 psionic energy die to modify the spell so that it doesn't require concentration.
Huh?
Okay. Here we go. If you do so, that spell's duration becomes 1 minute for that casting, and you can target gargantuan creatures and objects.
Suplex the Taron.
Oh, buddy. Is that good enough to stick with a kind of underwhelming whole entire class, though? That's a fucking capstone. I mean,
yeah,
that's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Compared to the last 2 subclasses, though, this one's kind of like...
This is pretty sauce.
It's underwhelming.
It feels expected. I guess is right. Like this is what we kind of expected for the first
you
one.
You need the boxes to check off. You know, I mean, this is if people are looking for like what a vanilla like Psion would be. This is one of your more down the road options. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just like all of the other 2, including the next one. Looking at it, get 2 third level features, and this one only gets 1, and it's not even that good. Like it's alright, but like it's not that good.
Yeah.
It sucks because like I feel like this is necessary having the telekinetic here, but I do feel like that 3rd level feature needs a bit more oomph to kind of like get the point across, you know?
They need to just be able to make miniature walls of force. Give them the Green Lantern, like let me make a 10-foot little wall. I know that that's like an obstructive thing, but like that's what they want out of this class. That's what
the whole other subclass could just be that as well. It's a whole other thing.
Just picking shit up and throwing it.
Yeah, I have built out zoners like this before for D&D and Vagabond and other games. It sounds like the kind of thing where like, oh, we can't fuck with the environment too much because that's actually action economy denial, and then that feels like they want to like trap these things. And yeah, it kind of, yeah, but like that's what makes them good. Because if that's okay, or if enchantment is okay as action economy denial, but you're worried about zoning as action economy denial, I think you're worrying about the wrong thing. Like you have so many more ways to overcome zoning than you do a spell that just says you can't do anything.
Like how many creatures have like fucking fly speed or teleportation, like misty step, things like that, right?
Incorporeal movement.
Yeah, exactly, incorporeal movement.
It's not hard to counter.
I guess the certainly with 5e particularly is a lot of the examples of zoning are like so they're super binary, right? Where they're like there either just isn't any, or they're so absurdly oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like can't move at all or can teleport anywhere I want.
Yeah, force cage is
oh god, force cage. I've got some force cage related trauma. Wall of Stone, Wall of Force, honestly, is even more egregious than Force Cage because it's 3 levels lower and is almost as good.
In a game just a few weeks ago, I just wrecked his encounter with Wall of Force. Like it's it's easy to get around if the GM's at all creative.
Yeah,
that's the problem. It requires you to like the way Wall of Force works is like because of really esoteric rules and specific things that most 90% of the player base just straight up doesn't know exists. Like because of things like line of continuous effect, you can't Misty Step out of a Wall of Force. You just can't, because you can't because you rules as written, whatever. You can't misty step through a glass window because the magic can't go through it. So, and Wall of Force can't be dispelled. You need Dimension Door or some other like long distance teleportation spell. Otherwise, you just can't get out. And that fucking dome, man, it feels so bad. It feels so bad.
It's I do like the idea of zoning like that. I do think there should be a more reasonable kind of way we can do it, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It is cool. It's just that all the versions of it are in the game are just like I press this button and the combat ends. And
yeah,
that sucks so much. Like Wall of Stone having like the most absurd amount of health imaginable is like if it just had like 30% of the health that it has, it would be like completely reasonable and still would be amazing.
Yeah.
And Wall of Force could just, I don't know, just like not exist, I guess, or just no, it just shouldn't be a dome. It shouldn't be a dome.
Just change the shape, like.
Yeah, just make it a solid flat plane. You can still fuck around with it. You could still trap people in corners with it, but
yeah, that's very fair. So with the telepath, this is going to be the vanilla one. I can already tell this one already looks more simple.
It literally fits on half a page, save the flavor text. So yeah, it's
Masters of Mind Magic. They use their psionic powers for all matters of the mind, whether they bolster the mental defense of allies or probe the thoughts of the others undetected. Okay, we know what this is going to be. They are going to get Bane, Command, Detect Thoughts, Mind Spike, Counterspell, Speak with Plants, Compulsion, Confusion, Awaken. Awaken's funny on there.
Yeah, Command with no verbal components as well. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're just like speaking it to their fucking brain. Modify memory. Okay, yeah, this is what 99% of people think of whenever they think of a psychic.
Yeah.
When you cast Detect Thoughts, you can expend 2. Do what?
No one's going to know, because Command I don't think has verbal somatic components, so no one's going to know you commanded them. You're going to command someone to, I don't know, do a spin, and they're just going to do a spin, and no one's going to know why.
I'm just neurodiversion, all right? I'm just gonna I'm just gonna
I need this right now, okay? Like
just let me have this. I just want to spin, bro.
Okay.
The voices.
Sorry, my phone is going off.
The voices are telling me to spin.
When you cast Detect Thoughts, you can expend 2 psionic energy dice to modify the spell, so the spell doesn't require spell components or concentration, and the target does not know you're probing its mind if it fails its wisdom saving throw.
That's pretty cool.
It's there.
Yeah, that's good.
Telepathy with a range of 10 feet. When you expend the psionic energy die as a part of using telepathic connection to increase the range of your telepathy for the duration of the effect, you can simultaneously contact a number of creatures equal to 1 plus the number rolled on the psionic energy die. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. While your defense mode is active, whenever you make a saving throw, you add 1d4 to the save. Okay. In addition, while your defense mode is active, you can extend this benefit to creatures. Oh, fuck.
It's an aura.
Oh, that's very fucking good.
Okay.
Suddenly you have a use for it. Okay.
I woke up now after hearing that. What the fuck?
And then
that's pretty good.
You add your intelligence modifier to the damage you deal with any psion cantrip. I'm not as impressed with this right here as I would have been with it on like Eldritch Blast, but like, okay.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. That in combination with this, very fucking good. That's very fucking
True
good.
Strike. That's more True Strike propaganda.
Yeah.
True Strikers in the chat going crazy.
But it feels like this really wants you to be more of a backliner.
Yeah.
But
really that like the we're talking about how kind of shit the telepathic connection was. It's all come back together, and you know what? It's kind of justified the whole thing with that empowered defense. Man, that's pretty
I can see it now.
I see the vision.
Your telepathy increases to 30 feet. When you or a creature you can see within the range of your telepathy fails an ability check or misses with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to expend 1 psionic energy die, roll the die, and add the number rolled to the d20, potentially turning the failed check into a success or a miss to a hit. The psionic energy die is expended only if the check succeeds or the attack hits. That's very good. It's just flat out a great mechanic.
Flavor, but it's good.
I don't mind it because it feels like a psionic guide, but like, sure.
That's true. That's fair.
When you cast
the flavor of turning a miss into a hit. So you've already missed. Like, you influencing their mind doesn't help that.
Yeah,
no, I guess it's before whatever.
You're giving them a little advice, you know. You're like, hey, bro, you should aim a little to the left.
Yeah, it's like a psionic like tactician, which is cool. When you cast Confusion, you can expend 4 psionic energy die to modify the spell so that the radius of the spell sphere becomes 30 feet. In addition, creatures under the effect of the spell roll 2d10s, and you choose which roll determines their behavior for the turns. Fuck!
Oh, you could fuck them over with that.
That's
okay.
Pretty cool.
Okay, I have one thing I would want to do with this though. I don't know if this would be too hard to shut down, but can I please expend another psionic energy die to roll an additional d10 per die spent?
That would be cool.
It would be ridiculous. It would be dumb, but like it's God damn, I love Confusion for that table. That's so funny.
Strike them with the sphere of confusion.
Wait, you might not really need it because I think that they do a doubling of like it's like 1 to 2 is this, 3 to 4 is this, 5 to 6 is this. So like
9 to 10 is they choose, 7 to 8 is attack a random creature and don't move. 2 to 6 is do nothing, and 1 is no action move in a random direction. So
I take back my suggestion. That's fine. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
It base increases the range too to 20, right? And then the higher level spell slot also increases by 5 for every slot above 4.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
So
yeah,
that's cool.
So I'm gonna say something real quick. All right, look, I get it, people. To the crusty fucks who are going to be like, yeah, but it's D&D and it's supporting Wizards of the Coast. Look, I'm going to say, like, I've got to be impartial whenever I'm giving critique. I can't just be like, hey, because this is cool, but because it's from Wizards of the Coast, I have to say it sucks. That's not what a reviewer does. Okay, so like, if something comes along and I'm like, all right, this is going to be sick, and then you get in my comments and then you go like, oh, you're simping for D&D again. You clearly don't know my fucking resume, number one. Number two, like, dude, you got to get real with it. Like, we're talking about a thing. If you don't like it, stop watching the content. So, what I'm going to say here, this is probably the strongest UA I've seen them release.
In a long time.
In a very fucking long time.
Yeah,
this is the first time I've been excited over a 5e content drop in a while.
Yeah.
Probably like ever, honestly.
I was not expecting the base class to be this well put together. I was definitely not expecting the subclasses to come out fucking swinging like this.
The first one, especially when WotC, whoever works at WotC now, whoever thought of that subclass and was like, hey, it'd be a cool idea for inspiration for a Scion prototype. Keep them on your team, because that was wild to read through. This was like genuinely entertaining. Like every feature we're going down, I'm just like mouth agape looking at this like, what the hell? This is so cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, this is very well put together. I'm impressed with it. There can be some cleanup. Some of this stuff is a little bit underwhelming, but guys, there's so much more hit than miss in this thing. Do I think that this is post Crawford leaving? No.
No, this has been cooking for a while. Obviously.
Yeah, this is using mechanics that Crawford made, like the psionic energy die. That was him and Mike Merles. So like they had their fingers in this.
I think Merle's was gone because the energy dice come from Tasha's. I think he was.
Oh,
on
that's
before
true.
then.
No,
Yeah.
that was no, but he came up with it for the UA for like the release.
Oh.
Yeah,
I forgot about that one.
it was in the Psion before all the what was it 2020 2019 controversy. So yeah, I mean, it started out, it was a slightly different mechanic, but it was basically that. So this is again, guys, like, this is solid. I think that there's a lot of fun ideas in here. I think that this is actually I'm a bit reserved on saying that something is just like ready to go, but like they could hit print on a lot of this.
100%. Yeah. I reckon this is like the sort of the exact kind of state you want a UA to be releasing in, where it literally just needs the sort of public's eye kind of editing pass of, hey, you missed this hyper specific interaction that you might want to address.
This needs to go through the Munchkin field. Like they need to have the Munchkins hit it with the optimizer bats and see what happens, you know. But generally, this is like, I'm very impressed. Just
I like with the wild talent feats. You can have one. You can only have one.
I like that a lot.
Oh, you can only have one
did you
ever?
Look at them, by the way, Taron?
No, because I actually also have to get on to doing the consult stream. But I will say, cool, that's fun. So you have to pick one that is special, and like, this is a thing that I have and will not change.
Yeah.
Cryokinesis. Thank you. God, I love the idea of like, wait, is pyrokinesis in here? Yes.
Yep. I think so. Yes.
Yes.
There you go. You can play carry. They hit it. Look, guys, they fucking hit it. This is great. I haven't even looked at these mechanics in here. I'm just gonna say they did their research. They got the pop culture references. This is gonna do the things that they want it to do. I know that this is gonna need a cleanup and an editing pass. But I will say, yes, I am genuinely thinking that this is coming out fucking singing right now.
Yeah, it's really good.
This is in a much better state than even current release Artificer.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Wait, did that release?
Well, like through the well, not the 2024 version, right? That one's not out yet.
Oh, okay,
that one's in the new book, right? The new Eberron book.
It's in like in a couple of months, I think.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I got some ads on D&D Beyond about that one coming out. But I mean the last cycle,
the 2014 release Artificer.
Yeah. The one that, what was it? Not the Eberron like Rising of the Last War, but the one that came out in Tasha's, right?
Yeah.
It was like slightly adapted. I don't think they changed much. They just added armor and made a few adjustments. It's mostly the same, I think. Anyway, I might be misremembering.
And then they add some stuff to its spell list, if I recall, and then like they added some things to like its crafting.
That would have been all the Tasha spells and probably a few other bits and pieces. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Almost certainly right.
Yeah. It's I am very, very impressed with this. So kudos to WotC. If someone wants to get mad at me because they sick the Pinkertons on somebody, 2 years ago, look, like, I don't know, dude, like, find something to be happy about is where I would kind of go in that route, because I think a lot of this community, not specifically my community, some people in my community, but this community could use a little bit of like stuff to be like happy about for a second, because the last couple of years it kind of sucked. And trust me,
make good things.
Yeah, if you all have seen some of my past like UA reviews, I've fucking slammed into them. I've definitely given WotC enough to where, like, hey, it got me a reputation as a Wizards of the Coast hater. All right, it's not the case. Okay.
None of us want WotC to suck. I've been playing D&D for over 30 years. I want it to be awesome. We don't want it to suck.
Yeah, I would really like it if my DM's Guild sales pick back up. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah. So like when cool stuff like this comes out, we should be happy.
I don't want to know.
Oh, have you not looked in a second, Jack?
I haven't looked all month. It was bad last month, and I'm
Dude,
like, man, I don't even want to look this time around. So I'm just not gonna. I
am down over 98% from 2022. My monthly revenue was like $4 to $5K over in the DM's Guild. I made $120 this last month.
I made
Yeah,
under
rough.
$100 for the first time in almost 2 years last month.
Yep.
I made like $54.34 last month.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of this month I've barely hit $100. Like last month or last year was like pretty okay. I think my best year was 2023.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was 2024, but not by a lot because of exactly one release in January. And yeah, I've not released anything this year at all. And aside from on drive-through, and drive-through has like even less discoverability than the DM's Guild.
Yeah.
There's just so much more content, and it's not flooded with AI as far as I'm aware. It probably is. But,
It's
No,
become less
it's
so. Well, it was
DM's Guild,
bad.
absolutely, it's completely.
The DM's Guild is kind of ruined with it.
Yeah.
But they don't really have a way to like moderate it. It was the thing is, it was at one point really bad, and I think it was more noticeably bad because of how shit AI was at the time. And now that it's gotten better, I think we're just noticing it less.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking at newest, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the first 6, all but the first one, 100% AI.
Yeah.
2 of them are from the same person.
God, that's such a shame, dude. Jesus.
They have moved most popular to the top, though. So I guess there's that. It's not the first thing you see is a bunch of dog shit AI art.
It's the third thing you see now.
It's after the big banner ad, and there's a book that's been sitting in popular that killed a book I'd spent a year working on, and it's like 80% AI art, and I was so mad. I was so angry.
You want to post it in the chat if it's not something you feel comfortable saying on stream?
Oh yeah, hang on. This isn't the book, but it's like the follow-on.
Oh, I mean, are we really worried about starting drama with fucking AI slot bros?
You know what? Fuck
Like,
it. Just say it,
just
honestly.
say it. Like, if someone's gonna be like that, I'm like, and not you, Jack. I'm just saying, like, if it's some AI bro that's slopping that shit up and ruining my fucking revenue, I'm like, motherfucker. Yeah, I'll say some shit.
The first one that came out was like not. It was like pretty obviously AI, but kind of in that zone where I'm like, I'm not 100% like, like my artist friends are like, yes, this is AI, and I'm like, yes, this is AI, but it's also like it might not be, so I'm not gonna come out swinging with that. But like,
Yeah.
I was, without naming any names, I was writing a book about the lower planes. I was a big monster book, lots of fiends, lots of monsters. I wrote every single stat block. I did all of the devil lords. And the main thing is my partner is an artist, and she does a lot of my art, and she's very, very good. And we were redesigning a lot of the devil lords because a lot of them are cool. A lot of them look stupid as hell, like Mammon and Polyvistus, who looks like an idiot in every single thing he's depicted in because he's frozen in a statue, and making him not look like a doofus is really hard. We redesigned like a lot of like reimaginings of them, and like lots of new monsters, like new Yugoloths. We did art of the general, like the Yugoloth, the secret Yugoloth leader. He was awesome. Like the art of Mammon is like my favorite piece of art she's ever done.
Right.
And we recontextualized Mammon instead of being like an idiot Naga man who's colored like piss. He's like piss yellow Naga man. We made him into an eldritch monstrosity that's like 80% hands, and it was awesome. and then this book came out, and it literally sat top end of the DM's Guild for like a year, and I was like, I can't release this book. I can't keep working on this book.
Yeah, the thing is, to me, I think the thing that does more damage beyond just AI art is AI generated content in terms of like someone trying to make a class and sell it through like generated whatever, because like that shit was ruining the guild in 2023. Like, we had people that were just going and putting in a prompt into like, Chat GPT, straight up putting it into a Google Doc and then trying to sell that without doing any kind of checking on it. And we kept noticing consistent patterns about like how could we tell it was AI generated. And it was like, for whatever reason, ChatGPT didn't realize that like 5e classes needed subclasses. So it would give you like or like it would give you a random number of like levels of the class. Like there was a class that I saw that had 17 levels one time, and I was like,
what?
Why? Oh yeah.
What
so
the fuck?
And so they weren't doing it. Yeah, if they had been like using it, maybe.
That was like a couple of years ago. Like it's a buddy of mine was just playing with that shit the other day because he was curious to see if it's gotten better.
Yeah.
It unfortunately has, and he got some results that were kind of scarily good, and I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where I'm telling people like, hey, if people are asking me, hey, why haven't you been putting out a whole lot of content on the guild or whatever? It's like, well, not only the Wizards of the Coast stuff, but like, I don't want to fuck with this market right now. I'm like, guys, I took another teaching gig, you know, like I'm like, this is going way more backseat for me because I'm just not really liking the state of the TTRPG market, and a part of that might be we need to really show how there's value in sites like the DM's Guild. And maybe they'll start giving a shit about actually moderating it, especially since their VTT flopped. Since that has flopped, I'm really curious if it's going to wind up with more support over on the DM's Guild for their marketplace rather than a proprietary marketplace. But I also think sales of third party over on D&D Beyond will be really telling for that.
Yeah, that's. I mean, they've got like all of these like sort of bigger projects on there. You could like Dragonheim and Humblewood and some other ones. And they I'm sure they probably because D&D Beyond has like a huge user base. I'm like constantly like as someone who like actively despises D&D Beyond in for many different reasons. I'm consistently like floored by how like pervasive it is like as a platform. It's like crazy to me, but that's just me. I think I have a very specific hatred of D&D Beyond.
With that, we're at 2.5 hours. I am going to take about like a 5-minute break. After that, we've got 4 classes that people submitted for the consultation. These are homebrew Vagabond classes. So you guys are welcome to hang. I know I'm going to get up and kind of walk around for a second.
It's 3 a.m. I got to go to bed.
Oh, dude, yeah, go to bed. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man.
I chat with you, Jack.
Enjoy the consultation.
All right, later. Well, yeah, Crow, you have a good night too, man. Where can the people find you?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna bounce because what was it called? My brother got the new like there's like a new book that came out for Imperium Maledictum I want to go through. Also, apparently, not sponsored, but Red Markets is having a 2nd edition, which is like a zombie game that was really fucking cool. I'm not sure if you guys ever took a look at that before, but yes, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Crow's Perch, at Crow's Perch on basically everything. Twitch, Twitter, all that jazz. I'm trying to use my Twitter again. But yeah, we're going to be posting another video next week, hopefully. And I hope you guys have a good night.
Yeah, man. We'll talk to you later, Crow.
Yeah, of course. You take care, man.
Later, bud.
Yeah, you too, man.
You hanging out for a second, Ked?
Yeah, I can stick around for a bit. I'm just going to get a drink and stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do the break thing. We'll probably be back in 5 to 10 minutes, guys.
though this situation leaves me out of breath. We'll try till the love that's in your wraps up to the ground and levels like a thread. I know that you really wanna go, I only think about her, must get to work and I lose her. You know that I will not break the silent support systems and my mind on rewind and rewind and rewind. I don't wanna see the end. My words can't make it safe. Perhaps it's too bad, no regrets. I don't wanna see the end. Tears are falling on my grave. about taking the chance.
And, well, I'm back. I don't know about Ked.
I don't know about me either.
Yeah, well, there we go. Hey, what up, everybody? Okay. We get the hair. We gotta get the hair going. I just got this haircut. I gotta, do the thing. All right. Hey, everyone. So, in case you aren't familiar with what we do here on the Consult streams, my supporters all get the chance. I try to do this once a month. And we do a consult stream where you can submit something if you're supporting me over on Patreon. You can do YouTube memberships as well. And what that does is it gives you the chance to submit something over in the Discord. We take a look at it, kind of give you, my take on it. What's been really cool is a lot of the stuff that's been submitted was for Vagabond. So I was like, oh, okay, killer. I think we've gone through about close to 15-ish classes already on these streams, so this has been super cool. And it sounds like this is a thing that people want to see continue on, so we're gonna keep on keeping on with it. And the first one I'm gonna take a look at, well, we've got two from Hisky and then two from Neon Borealis. And this first one we have up here is the vampiric class. Now,
this one's from Hisky.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I gave Apollo a bone to chew on while I was doing this, and now he's making noise with it. So, okay. Yeah, he's okay. I don't know how loud that's gonna be, but have I reviewed the Hollow Warden Ranger? I don't know that I looked at the horror UA. I don't think I looked at that on stream. Is he gonna? Hey, Paulo, are you? Wait, I don't know. Oh, he's right here. Hang on. He's just hanging out with a. Oh, you can't even see him. Wait, Paulo. Hey, Paulo. Dude, what are you doing? Hey, Paulo. Be cute for stream. All right, he's just sitting there. Can't even see. Look,
They never work with the stream. I did try to do a picker work the other day, and he just came out, pooped, and left.
I'm like, hey, bud, what's going on? And he's like, nothing. What? Okay, well, now that you're paying attention to me, I won't make noise. And the second I move away, he's going to start chewing on that bone again. Anyways, so the vampiric class from Hisky. For life be, after all, only awaiting for something else than what we're doing, and death be all that we can rightly depend on. Mina Murray from Dracula. You got cursed with vampirism. You're not a full vampire yet, and maybe slowly turning into one. You might as well use this to your advantage while your humanity remains. Iconic vampires. We got Dracula, Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village, Count Von Count from Sesame Street, and Marceline from Adventure Time. All right. Playing a vampiric. Vampirics are frontline fighters with some out-of-combat utility. They deal sustained single target damage and lasts a long time in a fight. Attacker cast. See, I tell you, I stop looking at him and he goes and chews on the bone again. I need to get a rug in here. Boy, that would resolve so many issues.
Do some decorating.
Yeah, right. Okay. So vampiric magic, vampiric boons. You gain the shape changer perk and can cast spells using influence. You learn the polymorph and charm spells and one other spell every 3 vampiric levels hereafter. Okay. So we have a half caster. Your unarmed attacks use a d4 for their damage. When you kill a being of threat level 0.3 or higher with an unarmed attack, you regain hit points equal to the damage dealt. Okay.
They added the minimum, at least. You don't necessarily rats in a bag as easily.
Right. Hey, bud. Oh my god, that's got to be so loud. Hey, bud, can you do that on your bed?
Is it?
Can you not hear that? It looks super loud on the waveform or the monitor.
Well, I'm only hearing you through Discord right now, which has the noise canceling thing.
Oh,
so
that's very fair. I don't know, chat. Can you hear Apollo banging this bone around on the floor? Okay, maybe not. It's probably just me. All right. So, oh, just barely. Okay, good. You have favor on will saves against spells. Is okay. Very, very good. You can hear it, but just barely. Okay. This is quite good. I think you've already kind of got the... We have the lifesteal aspect we're going to be expecting. We have shape changing. We have a little bit of the spell casting. You always have polymorph and charm spells. Have to have polymorph to have shape changers, so glad that that's all worked out. Let me see here. Bloodlust. If you successfully hit 2 unarmed attacks on the same target during your turn, you may roll 1 more attack on that target. Okay. And they're getting... Right, melee. Okay. So you can't be charmed, paralyzed, sickened, or suffocating. Is quite good at 6th. Dark power, use a d6 for the damage side of your unarmed attacks, natural scaling, and you can perform a scene task to designate a resting place. If you're killed, you reform your resting place in 1 day, unless a wind stake is stabbed through your heart. You consume. Okay. I mean, I would let this play at my table. Like, yeah, I mean, I would absolutely let it just see how it rides out in playtest. I don't have an immediate feedback on it because I think this might be really good here at 2nd level. It might be so good that you might move that up to 6th and have it be a part of the you can't be charmed, paralyzed, sickened, or suffocating. But other than that, I mean, this natural scaling right here, you might even make that a part of vampiric boons, and then you actually save more page space by clipping an entire feature and just show the scaling right here on the table. But generally, this is I'd be down to see it. Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. Oh, hey, what up, Maxwell? I don't know that I really have too much more on that. I like that. I'm yeah, cool. It looks pretty solid, good to go. You recommend leaving mechanic for the end? Okay. Let me see, because Hiskey had another one, the Vision Warrior. Oh, the Spirit Binder was the other one. Okay, so this is kind of the Neon Borealis show. Oh, that's right, Hiskey. If you're in chat, because I see you're over on Discord, I was not able to open up the file for Vision Warrior. You have the permissions restricted on it, so you'd have to tweak that before I could take a look at it. I
haven't seen Hiskey chat at all yet today, so
yeah. Well, he's also on the other side of the world, and time is a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Neon submitted a rune scribe. Let me see here. So I originally did a rune keeper that turned into the cipher on Vagabond, but we cut it in playtest because it was causing a lot of confusion. Glyphs hadn't been entirely completely figured out at the time. It's the kind of thing that I would love to bring back at some point, and I think a lot of people really, really want to see it happen. And especially because whenever we had it out there, a lot of people were picking the class up. What we have here, they think the world was written, sir. All words have enormous power, from Discworld. Okay. Keepers of ancient lore, rune scribes seek to understand the bare fundamentals of magic itself via the written word. We have Koichi Hiros from JoJo's Part 4, Miss Golden Week from One Piece, Amaterasu from Okami, Luz from Owl House, Rudy Tabuti from Shock Zone. Okay, so I would look at there is a Brandon Sanderson book called The Arithmetist that does this rune scribey thing. A general guideline for me whenever I'm coming up with the iconics, I try to limit it to like one source of the media, if that makes sense. So like not just a series, but also like an anime, right? I try to keep it down to where there's only like one anime rep, and it has to be like the most iconic anime rep to like give you that visual. One literature rep, one cartoon rep that's not anime, right? One movie rep, something like that. I try to kind of keep it like that and keep the like touchstones a bit more diverse.
Branch out a little bit more. Another really good like rune scriber thing I think that is in literature that you could consider would be Garth Nix's Abortion trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still need to go through that. I've got it on my bookshelf right now, but I'm trying to get myself to get back to reading Stormlight. Rune Scribe is a half-caster mainly focused on supporting their allies with inscriptions and using glyph spells for combat. Prepare and distribute your spells beforehand to provide the best support. Prep caster kind of a thing. Flexible to get melee weapon training, crafting, and 4 from either Arcana. Alright, so Lexergy, great name. Cast spells using crafting. Okay, I was making sure. They're 2 spells, 1 spell every... Okay. Alright. Half caster change. Rune Scribe first level. You don't spend additional mana for casting glyph delivery spells within close. Additionally, you gain the Inscriber perk and can inscribe up to 2 spells per scene spent inscribing. The amount of spells you can inscribe increases by 1 at 3rd level and every 2 levels after that to a maximum of 10. Okay. I like the idea a lot. Increasing the amount of inscriptions versus my thought was making the action economy a little bit more generous to allow like instantaneous kind of quick glyphs, and you can get multiple glyphs and that kind of a thing. I like the idea of increasing this through the inscription. Yeah, I think that's a good call. Let me see here. Yeah.
I mean, the next one looks like it's about quickening it, but I like getting more over getting faster and faster personally, because a rune crafter feels like that's the type of thing where like you sit, you prep an area, you inscribe your runes, you like get ready. Right.
Yeah, I like the ability with Vagabond because of the way that like since the classes are so much more condensed, if people are like, well, this thing isn't as good as this other thing that's supposed to be really similar to it, and I'm like, okay, well, so go play that other thing. Because like if you're saying that there's a bad feel for a thing that you don't like, somebody will like that. Like somebody likes the prep style of play. Yeah. You changed, if you try to inscribe a spell on a close foe, you must pass a crafting check to do so. This check has a penalty equal to the difference between your level and the CR of the creature. If it's higher, it's threat level in Vagabond, not CR. In this case, you activate the spell. Okay. All right. User takes the delivery beforehand. Yep. With the activating being serving as the origin of the spell. After the spell ends, the inscription fades. All right. Sick. Let's go over here. You can make your glyph delivery spells occupy a 10-foot square area. This increases to a 15-foot square area at 8th level. Okay. Yeah, and then you have the quick inscription. Close ally and not activated. The spell fades at the end of your next turn. All right, sick. I like that. I like that a lot more. we're not keeping track of how many you can do per like rest or anything like that. Just an immediate. If it doesn't work and it didn't go off by the turn, it's over. Yes, I like that. You meant 10th level there? You got 10th level here. Oh, 8. Oh. I see what you mean. Power. Gotcha. Now, counter imprint. You have a friend that really wants to play merchant, but it's likely the last core class that I'd play. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, to some people, they're like, this is everything I want it to be. But to other people, they're like, you really want to play a shopkeeper? Well, yeah, some people do, you know? And it's to some people, if they're like, well, I don't like the game because it has this class and I don't want to play that. I'm like,
so don't play it.
Yeah, don't play it. Like, what? Counter imprint. Once per round, when you roll above an 18 when attacking or dodging a being within close, you can inscribe a 0 mana spell upon the triggering being without making a check. The spell can be activated up until the end of your next turn. Okay. Immediately, like, you roll. I kind of wonder if you could do, like, I mean, above an 18 is fine. You have a hard set line there. I think if you did something like whenever you roll 10 above your save to attack, or to its 10 above the check to attack or dodge, you can do this. Maybe. Because then that incentivizes them to kind of go build into those other stats. But that's just a thought, like right off rip. And then Eyes of the Runekeeper, you can read all writing, and you understand the speech of all beings, including those typically incapable of speech. You could make this straight up way earlier. Maybe even at 4th level. And make Powerful Runes 6th level and then the 10th level improvement. And I think you're looking pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now the 8th level one, it doesn't feel good enough. Like, I got an 8th level, and then all you're getting is like language stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or a perk. Like, maybe that's the kind of thing that might be more fitting as a perk. Kind of my immediate thought there. New starting packs. Okay. I always love it whenever people make starting packs for the game. That's just like, whenever I was making a lot of D&D 5e content, I love making classes. Class design is a lot of fun. But I really felt like I could like let loose whenever I wrote like a background. Because backgrounds occupy such a weird territory on your character sheet. And like, you can get into more weird narrative, or I say weird narrative, exploratory narrative for what a mechanic should be. And yeah, you can see that all legends and lattes. Weapons, penknife, ink sword, stamp hammer, battle graver. Okay. Got a new relic. Okay. Blessed seals. Relic holy paper seals consumable. Each one of these holy paper slips can be inscribed with an imbue or touch delivery spell. The slips enter magic, conserves the inscribed spell for 1 day or until used. These seals can be attached to your equipment or to that of a close ally and behave the same way as inscribed spells, fading when activated. A seal can be attached to a close foe with a use action and passing a cast check using the inscriber's casting skill. If successful, the spell activates automatically. If the affected foe is undead, it takes an additional fire damage, ignoring immunities. What's the parentheses 5 for? Was that supposed to be like average damage?
I feel like that's a D&D-ism for the average.
Yeah. Okay. So, with what I was kind of saying there, because I know this is your second draft. Average? The average would just be a 4. We always round down. And we don't really list averages in Vagabond unless it's like in a stat block. Yeah, lose from Owl House. Yeah. So I think with that feedback, Eyes of the Runekeeper could come earlier. And you could have powerful runes kind of maybe starting at 6th and scaling at 10th. Because that's a really, really, really nice feature for them. But generally, the mechanics of it makes sense. It fits in the vibe of what, like, I think the writing style I've kind of got going for Vagabond is. I think with what I've kind of said there, that's just my kind of thoughts. I don't know if Ked had any on that.
I mean, I agree with shuffling those things around. I will say that I'm pretty happy with the fact that, like, right from the get-go, the main thing is about you're kind of determining what you're going to do with this, and that's the prepping and figuring out your runes ahead of time rather than just like mid-combat per se. You're a bit more of a planner and tactical, which makes sense for what you are in scribing runes, even though you become more active later. I think the design is pretty good if you can make those shufflings around, because right now you get to the end of it and you're like, okay, I guess.
Yeah. And you
everything else
also
seems fairly good.
You also submitted the Spirit Binder, which I think we took a look at before. Familiar. Oh no, we have looked at this one.
He says nope.
Have we not?
He says no.
Didn't have it last time on stream? Okay. There was another one that did this familiar, and then you like send it out to go attack and everything. This is Grievo between you and me. He's a fiend from hell. ENnie Og describing Grievo from Discworld. Share connections with spirits of nature and beyond, oftentimes calling upon them for help. Lyra from His Dark Materials. Pullman is another guy I've got to really start taking a look at. Merlin? Oh, and Archimedes. Okay. Got ya. Okay. Maleficent and Diaval from Maleficent, and Lift and Wendell from the Stormlight Archive. Okay. Who's another pair like this? Oh man, there's got to be more. I mean, you could say Ash and Pikachu. Like
Lilo and Stitch.
I guess.
No, not really. Ash and Pikachu I could see, though. That would actually kind of work.
I can see Ash and Pikachu. There have to be more than this. Who am I thinking of? I don't know that I would necessarily call Appa and... not Appa. Oh my god, who is Aang's little monkey thing in Avatar?
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, no, Appa was the big bison.
Yeah. Momo, thank you. Momo, yes.
Momo.
Oh god, there's got to be others. There have to be others.
Oh, of course there are. People love pets. There's definitely others.
Yeah. Okay, a magic generalist focus on coordinating deliveries with their familiar. Make sure your positioning maximizes the effect of your spells. Cast, backline, devout. Okay. Key stat is awareness. So they're casting with mysticism. Okay, cool. Okay, so we have a full caster here. You learn 4 spells. One of them must be Seance. Okay, you learn 1 new spell every Spirit Binder level hereafter. Or wait, did I say 2? Spirit Binder? Okay. Powerful Familiar. Your familiar's hit points are now equal to your reason half your level. Times half your level. Okay. Yeah, you might make that an actual X instead of a asterisk. Just that's how we do the look in Vagabond. Maybe JoJo stands. Maybe. Atreyu and Artax. I would think more Atreyu and maybe Falcor, but I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But now you made me sad. So no.
Yeah, I know, right? Geez, spoilers.
Guess who dies?
Yeah, the fucking horse. This spell allows you... Okay, Seance spell. Gotcha. Allows you to communicate with spirits of the dead or with nature spirits in the area. When you cast this spell against an aggressive foe, such as a ghost, make a mysticism check using the creature's threat level as a penalty. The spirit will answer one question to the best of its ability. You can ask it questions for 2 additional mana per question spent when focusing on this spell. So we kind of have this with Speak already in the game. You might try to see if it could fit that vibe for what you're trying to do. Because this would feel a little bit redundant with Speak also in the game. Let me see. Going up here.
Also, I think you might want to make some more clarification about that verbiage, because the declaration is you cast it against an aggressive... What was it? We've scrolled away. It was like against an aggressive creature, but then the example is a ghost, but it doesn't specify it has to be that in the actual mechanics.
I mean, this is why we have enemy. Enemy is a key term in Vagabond. So you could just say against an enemy or just against a foe.
Yeah, but I think he wants to specifically target like spirits type creatures with this. Because the fluff text before that is about communicating with spirits of the dead.
Right.
But then after that is just an aggressive foe. So I would just clarify it better. You can be like, well, that goblin's aggressive.
Yeah, I get that. What about like Death Note? Kind of seems like it fits. Kind of like how Light is always talking to Rio? Ryok? No. Riku? No.
Not Riku.
Ryok?
I think so.
Ryok? Was that fucking Willem Dafoe sounding motherfucker? I can't remember his name.
Ryuk?
Is it Ryuk?
I think it's Ryuk.
Ryuk. Okay, thank you. I can always count on the weebs in chat. All right. So the familiar can be any small or medium being with 1 hit die. When you cast a spell with an area delivery, such as line, cone, or aura, you can divide the total area of delivery between your familiar and yourself, causing the spell to activate in both areas at the same time. You say divide here. Do you mean literally like sectioning it out to where like the delivery can come from you or the thing, but like if you cast it for 15, 5 feet comes from the familiar and 10 feet comes from you? Or do you mean it like if it's a 15-foot line, both you and the familiar cast it as a 15-foot line?
He said yep on the first one, I think. So I think he meant like you can like choose.
Divide it up?
You can divide it 5 and 5.
Okay.
So if it's like 15, you can unequally divide it like 10 and 5 then? Because obviously 7.5 would be.
That would become very clunky. Because if we're talking about cone, like, okay, how do we divide that up? I guess like now it's a 15-foot cone, so like he's got a 5-foot cone, so he's got a square and I've got a 10-foot cone. I mean, like, I can see how it would work. I would say that is enough of a complexity bump right there where I would say playing it is probably more like a 4-star. Because, like, I get what you're going for. Mainly what you mean on this. Kind of like what we were just talking about here. If you upcast to increase the delivery, you can divide the total as you see fit. I like the idea because I don't think we have a whole lot of that in Vagabond. Of like, I mean, it's basically Wizard is like the delivery specialist.
It is more complicated than a lot of the Vagabond like core mechanics, but honestly, I personally wouldn't mind playing it because there are some people that don't mind a few extra little crunchy bits.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that, especially since you're rounding it to the 5s and it's not too math heavy. I don't see it as that bad.
Okay.
An example would be really helpful though, because there's going to be some people that'll read it and be like, what? Also just saying you can divide the total area, maybe just some clarification language, what that means. Cause some people might see divide and automatically think divide by 2 or what number or how does this work?
Yeah. Maybe I think the example would do a lot to help that out there. Because I was trying to think of a different wording, and I just think it all comes down to an example. Intertwined souls. Once per round, if your familiar would be defeated by taking damage, you can take the damage in its place. If your hit points reaches 0 in this way, both you and your familiar die. Okay. You can keep the familiar around more if you want more of the delivery, but you always know it's got to be that, like... Yeah.
Good. I think it's solid.
Greater Spirit. Your familiar's hit points is now equal to your awareness times half your level, round up, and you share each other's senses. Okay. Latter part of it's really actually a nice little passive buff there for you specifically.
Yeah, really good scout now.
Yeah, I just like it. You can summon your familiar close to you in a single action instead of a scene. All right, once per scene you can do that. All right. Yep. I'm cool with that. Once per combat you can summon it. Boop. Yep, cool. Resonance feedback. You pay 2 less mana for a line, cone, or aura spell delivery. At 10th level, that's really, really good. I don't really have many notes on that one. Because you want it to be the delivery specialist. This feels like a huge actualization of what it means to do these deliveries. This is the one thing I got a little bit hung up on, but it mostly just kind of felt like I wasn't totally sure I got the mechanic.
I'm liking it so far, to be honest. I like, send your familiar in, scout a bit around, find that goblin, explode, and then summon him back to you. Like that all combos well off of each other.
Sorry, I was just making sure his his collar was just like making a lot of noise. Yeah, I think generally this is operational. I think with a little bit of an accessibility pass right there, you're probably looking at something that is like ready to go. I mean, like ready to hit a table.
And honestly, people love pet builds always.
Yeah. It's always funny to me with these because I always feel like, okay, we just did a big consult or like a big review of like a D&D class, and then we get over to Vagabond, and then it's like, oh yeah, we knocked these out in like 10 minutes. All right, so you told me to save the mechanic for last. Because, oh, now I see why. Okay.
Is she chunky?
Yeah, it goes heavily over the word count limit. Okay. Grabs popcorn.
And it's called the mechanic. I might be excited. Like I'm a trained engineer. I used to like engineer the shit out of stuff in like old D&D games till my DMs hated me. So maybe I'm gonna like this.
So Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps, from Iron Man. At the forefront of technological development, the inventions they create are a force to be reckoned with. The engineer from Team Fortress, thank you. Dexter from Dexter's Lab. Tron Bone from Mega Man Legends. Heinz Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. Tony Stark from Iron Man. Okay, so you've got a video game rep. You've got a video game rep. So 1, 2, you got 2 kids' cartoons as your reps here. I think Doofenshmirtz might be a better fit than Dexter, but I can also see the argument going the other direction. Personally, for me, mechanics. Who's like the most iconic mechanic in a cartoon? Is it Dexter?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess. Forge from X-Men. I'm not familiar.
There's a lot of Donatello for Team MT. That's a pretty good one, actually.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That one's like there's a lot of 80s cartoons I'm thinking back on as well. I'm like, there was a lot of tinkerers back then.
Yeah, but I think Dexter probably was like the ultimate like actualization of it. I see you got Tony Stark here from Iron Man.
So the main thing is, I'm seeing the description. It's they're building a machine called a construct and controlling it. So it's more about like one special machine.
She built called a construct. In combat, you should manage the tempo between your construct and yourself in order to devastate your opponents. Attack/tinker. And they're a midliner. Yeah, they got the Tinker, Blacksmith, or Miner kit. Complexity of 4. I would say straight up already, because of all the different constructs and everything, this is probably leaning in more on the alchemy, like 5-star complexity. Because this is a whole separate subsystem.
Oh, she is chunky.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a lot. Undecided
I'm not
about that.
Opposed to it, but yeah, she's chunky.
Ash with Bob from Overwatch. I could see that. Yeah. One of my favorite ones, and actually playing an our like an engineer was. Q from James Bond would be a good fit.
Yes.
Smite actually had Vulcan, and Vulcan had some really cool mechanics. And that was the thing to me. I was always like, I wanted to get these. I wanted to kind of feel like this whenever I was playing a crafting based character. Let me see here. Do they have video previews of stuff? Okay, yeah. Like, and this is really cake, and it totally got the idea across. Is this gonna be loud? Oh God, Jesus. Yeah. So he has this. It's. Okay, they changed the name. I think it was originally called Backshot, and they changed the name to Backfire. And they might not have, and that just be my fucking disgusting mind, but, you know. So, real quick, cannon shot. He has a separate cannon he deploys. This is loud, too. Yeah. Boo. That thing automatically fires. So, like, there's action economy save there. Magma bomb, he launches a little... blast, boom, right, cake. And then he has a giant nuke. Oosh. Right. So, pretty cake for a MOBA. But I get that a lot of people, the problem with doing a mechanic or a tinkerer or an artificer is people want to make the thing that they think of and not the things that you've listed. Usually, this is just kind of a thing I've noticed anytime I've gotten feedback on any kind of this kind of a class. People feel restricted no matter what, because you can't really plan for absolutely everything they want to make, right? I can see that you've definitely given them options already. So we're going to definitely take a look at that. Because I see... building a construct. I'm just real quick modifying it. You can swap frames and mods. Frame and multiple mods. Both frame and mods have a cost in gold pieces that must be paid in full in order to build a construct. You cannot sell your construct, frames, or mods. I would take this out. That's just... This feels like a very 5e wording right here. If people wanted to sell it, in Vagabond, I don't care. That's like part of the role play of it. Like... They build things to sell them because they want to be a toy maker or something. All right, cool. Like, you know, yeah, I better be able to make a car. Yeah.
Do not hassle the Huff 9000.
Yeah. A construct cannot be used as a mount without an appropriate modification. When creating a construct, choose. Okay, so this is another thing in writing for the voice of Vagabond. The thing I try not to do is tell you what you can't do. Right? Like, I try to only write a feature that tells you what you can do. Or it says, when you do this, you also get this. This is part of the, like, yes and, like, design ethos I had in building out the game. So, whenever you say something like, you can't sell your construct, that would probably go on my no-no list of, like, this is what we don't write for Vagabond. When creating a construct, choose one frame and any desired mods that fit within the frame's point capacity. Your construct can only have one unique mod at a time. You must take a crafting shift task to modify a construct. When modifying a construct, you can swap frames and mods, except unique mods, page 3, as long as they are within the frame's point capacity. You must have spare parts equal to the gold point cost of any new frame or mod you choose. You must dedicate a shift craft activity to do so. Okay, we would just put capital craft, like a shift crafting to do so kind of a thing. They're immune to Berserk, Charm, Fatigue, Frighten, and Sicken statuses. Can only be healed while taking the following actions. Use the Tinker action while close to the construct. Conducting a crafting scene test to recover its hit points by a percentage. Rounded up.
Hmm.
We really try not to get this hard into the math. I have never defined percentages in any of the keywords. Actually, I will go so far as to say we also don't do this in 5e.
No.
I am currently trying to think of any situation that called for percent-based math in 5e that was determined by like 33% or something like that. I know that like Druid divided its level by 1/3, which was like, okay, well that's more complicated than half. Like, you added a whole other number in there. Using the mend spell, your construct is destroyed when its hit points reach 0. If destroyed, you can repair it with a crafting scene task, paying half the... Okay. This is a thing I would look at probably reconsidering, and you might even go like, here you go. Whenever you do this, make a craft check. If you pass, whenever you do the scene task, right? If you pass, it regains a d8 hit points per every 2. Yeah, depending on how high you pass the check by, it regains a d8 hit points for every 2 increments above your difficulty. That could be a real easy way to do that.
Now this class is listed as a midliner, right?
I think so.
But all of the, like, it's obviously like a pet build,
right?
Does it have anything that would make it a midliner versus like being more of a backliner?
I mean, it feels like you're supposed to hop into the mech and do this stuff.
Or do you go in it?
I mean, it says like brawler frame. Oh, any construct which determines his base abilities. Okay, so you send the mech in. Okay. Increase offensive abilities. Points available 3. You'd have to see how it meshes with the frame's hit points. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, times 1, times 2, times 3. Okay, armor 1, 2, 2. I'd be surprised as why. I think this should scale up to 3. Just like keep it natural like that. Kind of looking through here. Lightweight frame, versatile frame. Okay, so I would say this goes beyond the scope of what we generally try to do with the consult streams. And my immediate thought right now, I bet Ked can guess it. Ked, do you know what I'm thinking?
No.
Okay. I think right now, this is looking too complex for the kind of voice of Vagabond that I've written.
Oh, yes.
It's, yeah, this is like a new subsystem that goes even further beyond what I already wrote for Alchemy. For tables like, I mean, someone was talking about like a Pathfinder kind of like configure. Yeah, a Pathfinder player would probably really gravitate to this. Right now, without digging into it, it's adding a new subsystem to make a single class work, which gets me a little bit hesitant.
I don't mind complexity sometimes. I like tinkering around with stuff, but even I'm seeing things here I really think you could streamline. Yeah. Half of these charts for the different frames and whatnot, I really think there's a way you could actually just have one little chart and streamline how some of these numbers work. I don't think it needs to be as crunchy as it is.
Right.
Really.
Like, that could be a basic thing of like the cost that you put into it. Okay, well, 5, 10, 20, maybe that's like you choose a frame and you choose a mod, and then we figure out, because like these the frames are all way too specific.
I think just having a default, like just a default construct frame, and then you just get to mod it out with like an adjustment here or there is probably a better way to go than having all of these different base frames and the mods and the adjustments.
Yeah. Imagine if you had a thing where you can pick those mods and you have an amount equal to your level, or like half your level or something maybe. But also for me, like with a mechanic, I get the mech build kind of a thing. But for me, what I would personally rather do with like a mechanic or an inventor is make a lot of little weird gadgets. Because I want to come up with something like a little clockwork fire starter that will just kind of quietly go into this room and set someone's like cape on fire. Cause a distraction so we can get out of here. That kind of thing. Rather than like a very specific, this is the one thing you can make and this is what you're going to invest into. Yeah, I like a lot. In a way, it's like I like more options that present less complexity in how they're approached. Right? No reason why a mech maker and a gadgeteer can't coexist. No, I mean I didn't say that they couldn't.
True.
I didn't say that they couldn't. It's just that's kind of what I'm typically thinking of whenever I'm thinking of a mechanic. Like, or this kind of archetype. Scrapper's Delight. You can scrap items with the slot capacity of 4 or less, and the amount of materials you gain per slot scrapped increases to 1 gold. The materials you gain through this feature can only be used to build, repair, or modify your construct. Again, this is another thing where it's like, try not to write a feature that apologizes for itself. Don't give players something and then immediately try to take it away. Like, if they see this and they go, aha, like, I like this idea, here's how I'm going to use it, and you're like, you can't use it that way, that really defeats a lot of how Vagabond is designed. It kind of feels like the feature is like, well, we know this is too good, so like we have to reel it in. And I'm like, isn't there a line where we don't have to do the reel in and we can find how it's just always good?
Instead of declaring something like you scrap it to get gold pieces, but the gold pieces can only be used on this, why didn't you just make it scrap and then have the scrap only interact with the construct? Then you don't have to tell them what they can't do with it because it only can do the one thing. Right.
Scrapper's Delight that earns points by itself. I'm glad you like the pun. Overcrank. I'm sorry, the name though just kind of got me off guard. Once per scene, you can skip your move. If you do so, your construct's attacks grow 1 step for CD6 turns. They grow 1 step. So they increase, like the die size increases?
I'm assuming that's what he means, yeah.
I would try to spell that out. When the effector scene ends, your construct loses half its maximum hit points. Yeah, this is like overclocking. Did you just fart again?
I like the concept of the risk versus reward overclocking thing.
Yeah, I dig the idea. Like, it's stronger now, and I mean the overheat thing is definitely a fantasy of the mechanic. You get build construct for advanced frames and then master frames at 8th. At 6th level, reconfigure. Once per shift, you can swap one of your construct's non-unique mods for a different one with an equal point value without the need for a downtime activity or spending gold to do so. This is kind of building off of more of the stuff I was saying earlier about my concerns about how kind of complicated this got. And I think if I were to dig into this one right here, it's kind of just more of that same.
One of the things you tried to do with Core of Vagabond is you were trying to get past one issues that a lot of the bigger RPGs have, and that's choice paralysis.
Yeah.
And in this case, there's so many options, and now you can swap them out all the time. It's kind of reintroducing that choice paralysis, which is anathema a bit to what we were trying to achieve with it.
Yeah. I mean, I like adding on to Ked's point, like I literally built the dancer because like of decision paralysis. I was playing with players who would tell me like they didn't know what they wanted to do with their action during combat, and they felt like they just like froze up and didn't know what to do, and their turn would come up and it was like, I guess I dodge because I don't know what I really want to do. So instead I made the dancer, and the dancer became a class where it was like, if you don't know what you want to do, you can still support people by giving them your action. And like I try to think about like how can we address some of those like complexity freeze ups with TTRPGs rather than throw on a lot of options like this. Because Vagabond still has a lot of options.
If you have something like this where you can like hot swap some bits and you have a lot of options, that really does start to overwhelm a lot of players. I would suggest having one or the other, like have a smaller list that you can hot swap from, or you could have the bigger list, but it's cemented in so you don't have to like think about it too often.
Yeah. Without getting further on into that, I would say this needs to I'm not a huge fan of the subsystem getting added onto here. Now this is just it's a me thing. If it's the kind of way that you want to play, it's what you want to do. But my perspective is the additional subsystem would have me worried. Yeah, the decision paralysis that could happen with this is definitely a thing, and it kind of feels like throwing a lot of stuff out there to achieve one certain fantasy that I don't know. You got all these different mods for it, and I mean, even the names of the mod or the descriptions for the mods are like pretty thick. I don't mind this table. Attacks gain the properties of cold iron. Yeah, silver. Yep. Something like this could be okay. I wouldn't worry about mod points. Here you go. Slots. We already have this baked into the game. These things would occupy a number of slots, and your construct could only handle as many as the frame allows. Boom. There you go. Oh yeah, see, you got slots used right here. Make it apply over here instead of adding this mod points thing. That really, it feels like this is a little bit arbitrary in how this is, designed. You didn't want for slots to be confused with item slots. It would be the same thing. Just use the same mechanic. But this is the slots for the mech, not you. You know? These are the mech slots, and then you have your own slots. I would try to handle it that way. And then this thing, you could say like the heavy lifter could get, more armor but less speed. That's the typical trade-off. That kind of a thing. Expansion base, no, just keep it the same mechanic. We've already got a mechanic for it. Don't reinvent the wheel. If we've already got a thing that could work for it, like the easiest thing is to keep using that thing. What's that whole rule with engineering? Every additional what is it? It adds a point of failure. What's the? There's a saying about this, Ked. What the hell is it?
Well, for adding each new feature is a point of failure or something like that?
Yeah, is it like each new feature is a point of failure?
Something like that. I mean, I always had that railed into me in one way or another.
Yeah, engineering each new feature is a point of failure. Yeah, single point of failure in essence. Yeah. All right. The concept of single point of failure, in essence, it means that adding new features or even new components to a system introduces potential points of failure, and that specific feature could disrupt the entire system's functionality.
Yeah.
So I would say instead of trying to worry about that, and your point of failure is going to be somebody looks at it and they don't know what's going on, and even after reading it, they're like, I'm still confused, The percentages was a thing that I was like, yeah, this needs to not, yeah. we no longer have it's shock. We don't have zap damage or sonic damage. I don't think. Crap, I can't remember now that this is saying this. We might.
And for anyone that questions, it's his own game. How does he not know? As someone that has designed many of things, sometimes you've changed it so many times during the design process, you can't fucking remember.
Yeah,
it just happens.
I also very intentionally, once the final thing was finished and like submitted to the printer, I have not looked at the game in like 3 weeks. Like I have been like doing everything I can to not do TTRPG stuff for a second, like because it's been great for my brain. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not thinking about this 24/7 anymore. Okay, so yeah, this is adding in a lot of complexity that I think is actually harming the overall idea. I would try here you go. Try to limit this to where like there's only one frame. Okay? There's only one frame. Start making it work off of item slots that the frame has. And you have 7 pages of this for the class and the subsystem. I'm going to tell you as your teacher here, bring it down to 3. And this should be like maybe 1,000 words. This table, I think, is a good place to start and kind of jump off from there. But it should generally be no more complex than someone looking at the table, see the description of what it does, boom, and then they know exactly what to do. They spend this much, they get this power, cool, do that thing. It occupies this many slots on the thing, let's go. Try to reduce points of failure, and I think that's about it. Because I think on the second draft we'll see what you come up with. Any other thoughts on that, Ked?
I think I'm a little more amenable towards this than you are, just because I don't mind a bit more crunch and complexity.
Sure.
I don't mind a Build-A-Bear situation, but it needs to be streamlined like a lot, the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of anything abstract like the percentages, and like you said, get rid of like you should be able to work this down to you have your base construct and then you have some modifiers on it. I don't think it needs to be more than that in Vagabond. If you want to go ham with it in something like Pathfinder, then you can go ham with it because that's expected within the system.
Right.
But this one's you got to play in the system that you're trying to build off of. And Vagabond is not necessarily always about simplicity. There's still a lot of really complex and cool interactions between classes and stuff. But it is about being a lot more streamlined and I would say easier to digest.
Yeah. It's the class you spent the most time on. I'll give it another pass. Well, so yeah, it's not a throw the baby out with the bathwater or anything. I keep referencing this Magic the Gathering card, but it's very much worth, I guess everybody in chat can already let you know kind of where I'm going with it. Here we go. This is a philosophy you should always have whenever we get into any of these designs. Do not get married to your ideas ever. Ever. You need to keep this mentality every single time you get into game design. 1 with nothing. Discard your hand. When nothing remains, everything is equally possible. There might be an idea you're super married to. I promise you, if you take a second and you're like, how about if I just move away from that thing I am so tied to and see what else I can come up with? I promise you this next idea you'll hit is going to be something that you're going to love just as much, if not more.
I know I've done it with my stuff. I've rewritten things over and over. Sometimes you got to rework or replace or rip out large portions of your work. That's why you don't want to be one of those idiots that designs right in a layout program. You just want to do it in raw text.
I don't know, those fucking morons. Like, oh man, the Taron game design philosophy staple. Yeah. Just this is a mentality you should always have going into any of these things. Do not get married to an idea because the moment you do, the final concept is going to suffer. Be willing to get rid of any of your ideas. Yeah, keep it simple. Well, it's kind of like keep it simple, but it's more so like always be ready to kill your darlings. Always, always, always.
And not necessarily simple. I would say keep it streamlined.
I like that.
Rather than simple. You can have some complexity as long as it flows easy to understand, easy to digest. Also, Lady Dragulina had mentioned that it reminded them a lot of Pathfinder First Edition Summoner class, which I played the hell out of when I played that game. And that's probably why I kind of liked the Build-A-Bear bit myself. So I can see where it's coming from.
With that, everybody, as always, hey, if you wanted to get some of your stuff submitted over here, I know, bud, we're gonna wrap up. I'm gonna get him a ham sandwich. So if you want to help support what I got going on around here, if you want to like get your stuff checked out for a live stream, everything like that, come check out the Patreon. That is, I'll put it over here. Indestructoboy. You can do that. Come join up over on the Discord as always. And another thing I just wanted to say, thank you all so much for the patience, as like life is just doing all kinds of insanity to me right now. But things are good. I'm good. Everybody, thank you all so much for the kind words and everything, that as this last month has just been fucking crazy. But things are looking good. As far as everything goes with Vagabond, Vagabond is currently at the printer. I'm supposed to be getting a wet-proof mock-up anytime within the next month or two. And that is supposed to be like what the book, the GM screen, and the Basic Heroes Handbook will look like coming in the boxes. We'll know more about tariffs as soon as that hits. I know some people have been a little bit worried about that and hitting me up. I'm aware. I wish I could give you more information. I wish I knew.
Economists wish they knew.
Yeah, that's... And this has been the frustrating thing of it, is I understand people's frustration, but at the same time, I'm not the person who is causing this to happen. I'm like, yeah. So, I appreciate y'all's patience. I wish I had more answers for you. I simply put, I just don't at the moment. Rook and the Crook. Here we go. Real quick. Boom. Shirts are in. Got a whole box of them. All right. We've got that's underway. And we got zines, Wet Dreams, and Ghost Crest Peak. I've got a box with I think around 200 of each over here. So things are underway. We're working on it. It's a slow go because the entire world is reacting to what all is going on with the tariffs. Nobody knows what the hell's happening, and I'm just trying to make sure that the money I've got is getting spent well and wisely, on top of everything going on with real life, and then having to manage all the now adjusting to like single like living again. It's been a lot, but we're getting there. That being said, it might be there might be a delay. But I'm sure you all understand why. We're literally, like, the advice that I got from Daniel Fox over with Zweihander was literally tell the printer to wait until we can get this locked in for a time where they know the harmonization codes will work for the tariffs, and we also know that like there's not an insane tariff that's going to randomly get announced and suddenly immediately implemented and screw everybody over. We're trying.
And if the tariffs stay at 5 billion%, then he's just going to have to send it to me and I'm going to have to sneak it over in a van.
Like, we're working on that. Well, and that's the other thing, though. It's like, if I get it to you, as soon as it crosses the border, they're going to charge it with a code because it has made in China printed on it.
That's why I said sneak it in the van.
Oh, yeah. Sneak 1,000 books in across the border. I guess weirder shit's happened. You know?
You never know.
Yeah. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much. I promise you, it's not a matter of like we're not doing anything and like fucking the project's abandoned or anything like that. Just literally we don't have any more news. Everything is just underway, and then it's going to get shipped and all that other stuff. I have the dice right over here in the tote. I've got another tote saved for GM screens. We're working on it. That all being said, thank you everybody. If you want to keep up with the progress on all that, I'm trying to update it a bit more over in the Discord. And yeah, that's about it. Ked, where can everybody find you?
Am I able to post a link in your chat?
You might be.
We'll find out. We'll see if I got blocked or not. That's my link tree, so it's just all my shit on there. You can just follow me in all the places, and you can find me there. Void Home is in its final editing stages, so I've got my sci-fi horror RPG getting ready to launch, and I've got my own RPG system already had some of its first play tests. I'm just trying to get people that are willing to look over the book, see if I can get some advice from other designers, but I can't seem to find any designers willing to look at it yet. So we'll have to get there.
We will get on this. It's
I know you've been busy. You've been busy. Busting your ball.
There are so many things. I think I've talked to you about this over the last like 2 years and everything. It has just been chaos in trying to get anything fucking but
you've had many things on your plates, and but yeah, and everything is going good. I'm starting back to maybe making the occasional YouTube video again, doing some stuff there. I've posted a little joke video just yesterday, like a 4-minute video that seems to be for some reason actually getting some views. And I'm actually going to start doing some woodworking videos along with my RPG stuff on my YouTube. So if you're interested in that for some random reason, feel free to come over for that as well. That's about all I got going on.
Hey, I've been posting up videos where I'm just like fucking up guitars and pedals and everything. So, wait, Ked, did I tell you about the next idea I've got planned?
No, what's up?
So I've heard from a lot of people that it's apparently super easy to make a guitar like fuzz pedal. Like it's like an intro project for a lot of people. And I've been hearing that you can just basically take just about any electronica part, and as long as it's got the parts for it, you could probably make a fuzz pedal out of like any household item. So I was like, okay, that seems super cool. What do I have sitting around the house that I could try to do that with? That stream might be like, oh, that's cool. So I have a PlayStation 4 controller that I was kind of like down to just kind of tear apart and see what we could find. So
have you ever watched the harp lady on like YouTube?
Oh, Emily Hopkins?
Yeah, she makes pedals and stuff all the time.
Yeah,
like, I mean, the weirdest shit.
Yeah, she is like the premier pedal like YouTuber. And yeah, her content's fucking incredible. She's the Talkbox video of hers is so funny. Emily Hopkins Talkbox, where is this? Yes.
I hate calling her harp lady because she said how she kind of hates being called a harp lady. But...
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Using a talkbox on harp can get...
This is so funny. So a talkbox, to anybody that doesn't really know, it's literally a guitar pedal that has a speaker in it that shoots the sound of your guitar in through a tube. You put that tube into your mouth, and then whenever you go up and talk into the mic, the sound of the guitar will like sound like you're talking through it. So, but she tried it with a harp.
pretty weird. But I'm going to try to make a song with it. So the drums are going to sound like this. On top of that, I'll be using the poly blue on my harp. And then I'll be doing some volume swells with the Chase Bliss Dark World. So what should I say in the talk box?
That's awesome.
It's just like that's her content, but it's so fucking funny. I think Emily Hopkins is such a great creator. But,
yeah, she does some good stuff. Good stuff.
So, anyways, guys, hey, thank you all for hanging out. And I will see you guys soon. I'm trying to think of what we got going on. Well, now that I don't have to worry about waking someone else up here in the house, we can play more video games at some point. We need to get that going. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I need to finish Disco Elysium. Oh, I need to finish that so bad. Anyways, guys, have a great night. Ked, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Crow, and thank you to Jack for joining us. And it was a fun one. And I will catch you all later on.